Chapter 2481. Inside Xiao Yao Palace. Through the huge screen, Lin Fei could see the situation outside clearly. There were special creatures everywhere, covering every inch of the place. The show has finally begun. Regardless of whether we succeed or not, for a long period of time, you guys have to be well-behaved and behave yourself. Lin Fei didn't wish for any trouble to occur in this land. From all directions of Xiao Yao Palace, a force was approaching unceasingly. They were all protected by formations. Even divine senses were useless. These forces successfully arrived outside Xiao Yao Palace. Yun Zhongtian's array formation was also activated immediately, covering the entire area. Not a single sound could be heard outside. Break the formation! These forces had all received guidance before. They immediately broke the formation outside Xiao Yao Palace. After a loud rumbling sound, the formation cores were broken one by one, tearing apart Xiao Yao Palace's defensive formation. At this moment, Xiao Yao Palace was like a piece of meat without any protection in their eyes. Charge! Charge in and capture Lin Fei. We will be rich. Kill! Voices soared into the sky from a few directions as they charged towards Xiao Yao Palace. 3,000 soldiers charged out as well. Kill them all. The resistance of the 3,000 soldiers was extremely weak, especially when faced with the attack of over 10,000 people. The 3,000 soldiers were forced to retreat, leaving behind corpses on the ground. They charged in from the periphery and were about to break into Xiao Yao Palace. The leaders of these forces were all beaming with joy. Capturing Lin Fei would be a great achievement. This kind of transaction was too easy with no difficulty at all. When they were halfway there, a few 7th job transition experts of Xiao Yao Palace came out and suppressed the enemies for a while. However, among the tens of thousands of enemies, the few elders were all 7th job transition experts. Both sides were evenly matched. After a long time, Xiao Yao Palace's side was at a disadvantage. How dare you barge into the territory of the Overlord? You are simply courting death. A late-stage 8th job transition expert charged out from the palace and killed over 100 people the moment he appeared. The scene was filled with blood. A terrifying pressure suppressed the expressions of those 7th job transition experts. Such an expert was still very terrifying. This should be Lin Fei's final trump card. I wonder which force is so generous to arrange for an 8th job transition expert to protect Lin Fei. Bai Ziqing said coldly. Mu Haoqiang was glad that he had come to the right place. If he had been targeted by an 8th stage professional expert, it would have been a huge nightmare. This old man will deal with this person. Yun Zhongtian set up a formation outside. Just in case, he decided to deal with this person himself. Bai Ziqing and Mu Haoqiang did not stop him. Yun Zhongtian charged out. Seal! A huge formation was set up, sealing the energy fluctuations of heaven and earth. Yun Zhongtian's anger was not small. In order to kill Lin Fei, he did not hesitate to take action personally. Against a late-stage 8th revolution professional, it would be impossible for someone of the same realm to succeed in a short period of time. However, it was different for a formation master. Moreover, it was a formation grandmaster. When this late-stage rank 8 professional started fighting with Yun Zhongtian, he was suppressed right from the start. He used formation after formation to suppress the other party. The heaven-grade spirit array's attacks were continuously unleashed, one after another, not giving the other party any chance to catch his breath. Where? The formation spear pierced through his chest from behind. An expert had fallen. Yun Zhongtian's forehead was covered in sweat. Success! Yun Zhongtian let out a smile. Without the resistance of the 8th stage professional, Xiao Yao Palace's resistance was weak, and they were forced to retreat. Quickly defend! That young man is Lin Fei. Everyone, hurry up and capture that kid. We will be rich. A mere second-stage professional, watch me. Voices kept coming from within the palace. All sorts of loud, rumbling sounds could be heard, and miserable screams could be heard from the depths of the palace. Be careful! This is a heaven-grade spirit array. Bastard! My subordinate, that kid, is too scary. How can he master such a powerful formation? Bai Ziqing and Mu Haoqiang entered the palace together. The interior of the palace was huge. That kid is really going all out. Inside the palace, Lin Fei, who was dressed in black, was constantly unleashing formations. Relying on the formations, he was able to block everyone's attacks. Around him were corpses, forming an empty space. If you want to kill me, you must have the strength to do so. Lin Fei conjured a formation, and a fire dragon appeared. The fire dragon swept across the surroundings, burning the corpses of the thieves into nothingness, as if they were works of art. Anyone who touched them would definitely die. I have underestimated Lin Fei. I didn't expect him to master such a heaven-grade spirit array. With the protection of the formation, it is theoretically impossible to win by outnumbering him. Yin Zhongtian's eyes flickered. If we want to defeat Lin Fei, we must attack together. I will use the formation to restrain him, and you will destroy the formation core. Once the formation weakens, he will lose for sure. Yun Zhongtian was very confident in himself. After all, Lin Fei was a junior. No matter how powerful he would still lose to him. Let's do it, Bai Ziqing said decisively. Mu Haoqiang naturally wouldn't say anything, but he was also thinking about it. Especially Lin Fei's formation, he was really envious of it. At the realm of rank 2, Lin Fei was able to last until now by relying on formations, forcing those rank 5 and 6 experts to be helpless. There were not many people in the entire empire who could do this. Seal! Yun Zhongtian immediately conjured a formation of the seal character formula. Lin Fei, let's do it again. This time you will lose for sure. Yun Zhongtian, who was dressed in black, wrapped himself tightly. Once the formation was activated, the pressure on everyone was greatly reduced, and they all looked at this mysterious person. Lin Fei was furious. So it's you, you are dead for sure. I am a nobleman conferred by the empire and a lord. If you die, you will no longer be a nobleman, but a lord. Yun Zhongtian conjured a set of formation flags, encircling everyone within his attack range. Heavenly meteorite descent. Once the formation was formed, countless huge stones fell from the sky, and they were incomparably hard like a heavy rain. Immediately, all kinds of screams came from the scene. Lin Fei's position also became the focus of attention. Countless meteorites fell like a black mass. Lin Fei didn't just sit and wait for death. Several fire dragons drilled out and smashed the meteorites, but they couldn't handle the number of meteorites, and they were always at a disadvantage. In order to deal with Lin Fei, Yun Zhongtian had calculated for a long time, and after studying his previous failures, he finally suppressed Lin Fei this time. You guys go and break the formation core. As a veteran formation grandmaster, Yun Zhongtian knew Lin Fei's situation with one successful strike. As long as the defense was broken, Lin Fei wouldn't be able to resist the attacks of the three of them. At this moment, a strange change suddenly occurred. Chapter 2482. No one knew this would happen. Bai Ziqing's palm strike with all his strength left a bloody hole in Yun Zhongtian's body. He had used all his strength in this attack and did not stop at all. It was like a flood that crushed through Yun Zhongtian. Bai Ziqing, are you crazy? Mu Haoqiang was also stunned by this sudden scene, and he couldn't help but cry out. He couldn't figure out why Bai Ziqing wanted to deal with Yun Zhongtian. You all conspired against City Lord Lin. You should be killed, Bai Ziqing said coldly. He raised his hand and punched towards Mu Haoqiang. The fist wind howled. We've been fooled. Mu Haoqiang reacted immediately. This was a trap targeted at him. Bai Ziqing had pledged his allegiance to Lin Fei. This trap might be Bai Ziqing's proof of allegiance. Boundless hatred rose from Mu Haoqiang's heart. It had always been Mu Haoqiang who schemed against others. He never thought that he would be schemed against one day. Go! Mu Hao forcefully withstood a punch and brought a few of his subordinates to forcefully break out of the encirclement. As long as they returned to Peerless City, even if Lin Fei was given 100 guts, he wouldn't dare to make a move. Of course, he would definitely suffer this loss. This kid is too calculative. Mu Haoqiang still felt that he had underestimated Lin Fei. Lin Fei had silently plotted against him. Who knew what else was waiting for him? As for his teacher, Mu Haoqiang did not have the mood to care about him. Kill! Mu Haoqiang began to attack the people in his team, forcefully carving out a bloody path. Several of his elite subordinates were all killed in an instant, and he felt the pain for a long time. This time he was truly alone. Lin Fei, Bai Ziqing, I will definitely take revenge. The pitiful Mu Haoqiang fought his way out and encountered the formation that Yin Zhongtian had set up. He cursed furiously and only managed to escape with great difficulty. Looking at Xiao Yao Palace, a chill rose from the bottom of his heart. This was the scariest part. If possible, he didn't want to come here ever again. Mu Haoqiang fled all the way to Wushuang City. Only there could he feel at ease. Isn't that the Wushuang City Lord? Ha ha ha, even the heavens are helping me. After escaping from Lin Fei's fief, Mu Haoqiang felt a chill run down his spine. He met a team in front of him, and when he looked at them, he broke out in a cold sweat. It was Black Wind City's demon, General He Yi. What the hell? Black One charged over excitedly. Capturing Peerless City Lord is a great achievement. I originally wanted to plunder a city, but I didn't expect to meet a city lord. Little ones, kill him. Peerless City Lord Mu Haoqiang was only rank 8 initial stage, while Demon General He Yi also had rank 8 initial stage strength at his peak. He was not inferior to Mu Haoqiang. Moreover, there were dozens of experts around Black One. In this siege, Mu Haoqiang was constantly restrained. After a dozen or so moves, Black struck his shoulder, and his entire shoulder was shattered. His injuries were severe. Mu Haoqiang used a secret technique and luckily escaped from the encirclement, increasing the distance between them. City Lord Mu, don't run so fast. You are City Lord Mu. Mu Haoqiang was chased all the way. Along the way, he listened to all kinds of provocative words, and he almost coughed up blood as he returned. Black One chased Mu Haoqiang all the way to the outskirts of Peerless City. When the guards at the city gate saw the city lord covered in blood, their expressions all changed. There were also demon generals chasing after him. Ha ha ha, City Lord Mu, you are lucky. You really ran back to Peerless City. Next time, let's have some fun. Human race experts are only SOSO ha ha ha. Devastating voices echoed in the sky above Peerless City. Numerous tyrannical auras appeared in the sky above Peerless City. The first to notice Mu Haoqiang's miserable appearance was unnatural. The dignified city, Lord Mu, was actually being chased. If it was a human race expert, it would have been fine, but it just had to be a demon race demon general. This was an extremely difficult thing to accept. When did the demon race become so arrogant? Mu Haoqiang knew that he was at a disadvantage. Demon race, I will not rest until you die. Xiaoyao Palace. Without Mu Haoqiang, the remaining forces were nothing to them. Elder Yin, that day, you were unwilling to accept your defeat. Now, you are stirring up trouble behind my back. Today, I will let you know what my true strength is. Lin Fei stood with his hands clasped behind his back. Suddenly, a ray of light shot out from his eyes. Yun Zhongtian hated Bai Ziqing for being despicable. He actually sided with Lin Fei and lured them into a trap. In an instant, the situation was reversed. especially when a group of soldiers came out from the dark. They held energy guns in their hands and shot wildly. Seeing this, Yun Zhongtian's scalp went numb. This was a brutal massacre. Tens of thousands of people besieged Xiaoyao Palace. Not many of them died under the hands of the 3,000 soldiers. Instead, almost all of them died in this place. Yun Zhongtian realized that Lin Fei had great ambitions. The empire had so many rare weapons. This was simply impossible. The ray of light shot over. Yun Zhongtian clenched his teeth and set up a formation. He thought that he could block it for a while. However, it couldn't withstand the monstrous power of the ray of light. A bloody hole appeared on Yun Zhongtian's body. At this moment, Yun Zhongtian experienced the feeling of death. It was so close. In his eyes, Lin Fei had become an invincible figure. "Who are you?" Lin Fei didn't answer Yun Zhongtian's question. He threw a tube of medicine into Yun Zhongtian's body. Yun Zhongtian died without knowing why. At this moment, the Wushuang Star area had suffered a huge blow. "Congratulations, Master. You have resolved the hidden danger. I believe that even if they want to make a move, they will have to consider whether they have the ability to do so." Bai Ziqing walked up. Lin Fei said disapprovingly, "They are just a group of ants. If they weren't used for publicity, why would they go through so much trouble? I believe that for a long time, no one will dare to provoke me." In the following days, a crazy news spread throughout the Wushuang Star area. The underground forces of the Wushuang Star area were almost completely destroyed by Lin Fei. No one survived. Over 10,000 people besieged Xiaoyao Palace and were all killed. Lin Fei became famous because of this battle. From then on, no one dared to look down on Lin Fei. Those underground forces all knew that they had a lot of experts. However, in the end, they still fell into the hands of Xiaoyao Palace's Lin Fei. Those forces who originally planned to secretly deal with Lin Fei, after hearing this news, all stopped. Even if 10,000 people besieged Xiaoyao Palace, they were all killed, let alone them. There was also a rumor that Xiaoyao Palace had a 9th-stage professional expert. Only this kind of expert could kill over 10,000 people. The more this news spread, the more people believed it to be true. Other than a 9th-stage professional expert, who else could do this? Even an 8th-stage professional expert might not be able to stop them. This time, among the 10,000 people, there were many experts. Only a 9th-stage professional expert could suppress them. Among all kinds of guesses, everyone agreed with the possibility of a 9th-stage professional expert. Before figuring out the identity of the 9th-stage professional expert of Xiaoyao Palace, no one dared to deal with Lin Fei. Doing so was simply seeking death. Chapter 2483. Mu Haoqiang, the Castellan Mu Haoqiang, became famous. Under the propaganda of some people, Mu Haoqiang, the Castellan of Peerless City, became the most shameful Castellan. Nobody suspected that Mu Haoqiang went to deal with Lin Fei. Instead, they thought that Mu Haoqiang was unlucky to have met the demon General He Yi outside. Mu Haoqiang was suffering in silence. How could he be so unlucky to have met the demon General He Yi and be chased all the way to the city gate? There was nothing more shameful than this. After the news spread, Mu Haoqiang hid in the Castellan's residence. He didn't go out and acted like a coward. No matter what they said, he wouldn't say a word. Mu Haoqiang couldn't find a good reason to say this. It would only make things worse. Everyone only needed to know that he was chased by the demon general. After a few days, Lin Fei came to the Castellan's residence. The underground forces secretly besieged Xiaoyao Palace. On the surface, nobody knew about it. The big forces all heard the news and wanted to watch the show. Who would have thought that it would be a one-sided situation? It even helped Lin Fei and made him famous. After the incident, Lin Fei kept a low profile and didn't say anything. It was as if nothing had happened. Because of Lin Fei's actions, nobody dared to look down on Lin Fei. This kind of person was the most difficult to deal with. Lin Fei came to find me. Mu Haoqiang had been hiding these days. There was no news from Yun Zhongtian. He didn't dare to send people to investigate. He could only lick his wounds in silence. He was afraid that once he went out, everyone would say, "Everyone look, that is the Castellan of Peerless City." He was chased by the demon general. He brought shame to the human race. Who would feel comfortable hearing such words? "Lord, should I say that you are not here?" The confidant thought himself clever and said, Mu Haoqiang hated Lin Fei quite a bit. At this time he did not dare to refuse. He was in the wrong in this matter. If Lin Fei spoke carelessly, he would lose his position as the city lord. Invite him in. In the reception room, Lin Fei sipped his tea, quietly with a satisfied expression. Behind him, Bai Ziqing stood beside him like a bodyguard. "City Lord Lin, you don't come here for no reason. What's the matter?" Mu Haoqiang said as soon as he sat down, suppressing the anger in his heart. Lin Fei unhurriedly took a sip of the fragrant tea and put down the cup. "Actually, it's nothing much. I just want to give something to City Lord Mu. I believe you will like it very much." A high-grade recording device was placed on the table. At this moment, it was extremely dazzling to Mu Haoqiang's eyes. His pupils contracted slightly. When Mu Haoqiang saw the high-grade recording device, he knew that something was wrong. Things were about to go south. He picked it up and recorded every single scene of the attack on Xiaoyao Palace. He didn't miss a single word. Everything was recorded. "City Lord Mu, are you satisfied with my gift?" Mu Haoqiang suppressed his anger and said, "You are really despicable." Lin Fei extended a finger and shook it lightly. No. I am not the one who is despicable. It is you, City Lord Mu. You and I are like the water in a well. You actually colluded with the underground forces to deal with me. Don't you think this is despicable? Moreover, I am a city lord, a noble of the empire. Tell me, if I spread this news, what do you think you will do? You know the consequences of trying to kill a noble." Mu Haoqiang stood up and said sternly, "You dare!" Lin Fei said, "Why wouldn't I dare? Don't tell me you dare to kill me here. But do you have the strength to do so? Everyone saw me entering the city lord's mansion. Who knows how many people are paying attention to me? If I die here, hee." Lin Fei's words had hit the nail on the head. Mu Haoqiang slumped to the ground. In that instant, he had indeed thought of killing Lin Fei. He had destroyed the advanced recording device, but nothing had happened. Then what do you want to do? Mu Haoqiang was afraid that he would not be able to control himself and attack. He knew clearly that once he attacked, he would be finished. Wushuang City Lord would be the first to speak. The others would also use this as an excuse to remove him from the position of the city lord. The Mu clan behind him would also be in big trouble. The only thing that Mu Haoqiang saw was hope. Lin Fei did not hand over the device. This meant that this matter was limited to a small circle. Even if outsiders guessed it without evidence, no one would dare to not say anything. Lin Fei said, "A few days ago, my Xiaoyao palace was attacked and suffered heavy losses. I spent all my life savings on it. I feel that someone must compensate for this loss. As long as you are satisfied, I can return this thing to you." Mu Haoqiang never thought that one day he would be blackmailed by someone. Moreover, it was by a junior. However, he could not do anything. Kill? Would he dare? Even if Mu Haoqiang had 100 guts, he would not dare to kill. 100 black crystal cards. Take it as my compensation. Mu Haoqiang said painfully. Lin Fei slammed the table, causing tea to splatter everywhere. He said coldly, "City Lord Mu, are you trying to dismiss a beggar? 100 black crystal cards, and you still have the nerve to ask for it? You are not trustworthy. Then, there is no need to continue this discussion." Seeing that Lin Fei was about to leave, Mu Haoqiang could no longer sit still. 300 black crystal cards. Lin Fei acted as if he was about to leave as he said coldly, "You're the city lord. Do 300 black crystal cards fit your status? I will not say much. You can give me 800 black crystal cards or not. It is up to you. However, you only have the time to think before I walk out of the room. If you do not give it to me, I will give it to the expeditionary guards. I believe that they will like it very much. They might even reward me with a black crystal card." As the city lord of Peerless City, Mu Haoqiang was very clear about the purpose of the expeditionary guards' existence. They were the eyes and ears of the emperor. If the news reached the expeditionary guards, the Mu clan would definitely lose a layer of skin. Needless to say, he would definitely die. Mu Haoqiang could not bear to part with 800 black crystal cards. It was almost his entire family's wealth. Lin Fei started to walk. Step by step, every step was like a sharp knife in Mu Haoqiang's eyes, stabbing him continuously. Just as he was about to reach the door, Mu Haoqiang could not hold on any longer. "Wait a moment. I will give you 800 black crystal cards, all right?" For his own future and the honor of his clan, Mu Haoqiang could only give it. "City Lord Mu, you have made the right choice. It is just 800 black crystal cards. I can easily earn them back with just a little effort." Lin Fei smiled. Mu Haoqiang stared at Lin Fei. "I will give you 800 black crystal cards. However, you must guarantee that if the recording device is leaked, I will kill you even if I have to go to the ends of the earth." Chapter 2484. After extorting a sum of money from Mu Haoqiang, Lin Fei was not in the mood to find trouble with him. A few days later, Mu Haoqiang personally delivered 800 black crystal cards. When he left, his face was very ugly, as if his parents had died. The only good thing was that at least a potential big trouble was solved. The matter was so big that the expedition guards went there in person, harvested a batch of corpses, and received a lot of money. The expedition guards got credit, and everyone was happy. After everything was arranged, Lin Fei left the Wushuang Star area and returned to the Imperial Peak. Although Lin Fei was not in Xiaoyao Palace, no one dared to look down on Xiaoyao Palace. No one knew if there was an expert in charge, so it was not worthwhile to offend Lin Fei. After Lin Fei left, everyone was relieved, such as Mu Haoqiang. This time, he suffered a great loss in dealing with Lin Fei. Not only was his reputation affected, but he also lost 800 black crystal cards, and no one knew when he could get them back. At least for a long time, Mu Haoqiang had to live frugally. Lin Fei returned to the Imperial Peak. Chun Yuanshan and Li Xiong came to congratulate him. A fiefdom, a country within a country, was not something ordinary people could have. They were all well-informed people who had been paying attention to the affairs of the Wushuang Star area, so they were not surprised by Lin Fei's means at all. In their eyes, Lin Fei had always been a synonym for mystery, and now he was even more deserving of it. After returning to the Imperial Peak, Lin Fei lived a low-key life again, spending almost all his time in the Imperial Peak. The Imperial Peak usually opened a big formation, saying to others that it was better to keep quiet and cultivate. No one in the Imperial College doubted Lin Fei's words. But in fact, Lin Fei traveled back and forth between the two places, and Xiaoyao Palace became a new secret base. The Imperial Peak became the main place to plant the source tree, because it was rich in heaven and earth energy. This cultivation base was very important to Lin Fei. When Lin Fei returned, he noticed that there would be unfamiliar figures appearing outside the monarch's peak from time to time. They seemed to be spies. After reading through the information, Lin Fei realized that they were from the capital's factions. It seemed that the news had spread and attracted their attention. Fortunately, I've set up a teleportation formation in Xiaoyao Palace. As long as I don't leave Emperor Peak, you can only stare at me. Lin Fei knew that they were suspecting him because of the auction. Don't underestimate these powers. When they're smart, they're very smart. They can consider every detail, The bounty on Tianji Hall was still there. The entire empire, whether it was on the surface or the underground forces, were all searching for the Avengers. Lin Fei was very clear about the capabilities of Tianji Hall. That was truly a superpower. They were rich and overbearing, and the items they auctioned off on the surface were already very precious. There were also rumors that Tianji Hall had all sorts of good things inside. The strength of that place was not the least bit inferior to the Imperial Palace. From this aspect, one could see the foundation of Tianji Hall. Lin Fei was very powerful now. However, he was still lacking if he wanted to fight against Tianji Hall openly. He relied on energy units. Once he ran out of energy units, he would be like a fish on the chopping board. Continue to accumulate. This was Lin Fei's next main task. The secret base of Emperor Peak could produce a large amount of energy wall stones every day. To Lin Fei, it was far from enough. If he wanted to accumulate energy units in a short period of time, he could only do some big business. Tianji Hall, didn't you want to put a bounty on my head? I'll make use of you guys to make some money first. Murderous intent flashed in the bottom of Lin Fei's eyes. Tianji Hall was a unique power that stood above the other powers. Ever since it was passed down, it had never shown any wild ambitions. In their eyes, there were only various financial transactions and all sorts of research. In the eyes of Tianji Hall, power seemed to be disdainful. Tianji Hall itself had an unparalleled influence. This influence was no less than the imperial power of the empire. Even the emperor couldn't recruit Tianji Hall. Even a fool could see the foundation of Tianji Hall. Tianji Hall was big. Naturally, it had branches everywhere in the empire. They opened many branches to sell all kinds of treasures of Tianji Hall, thus forming a high-end place. Any branch of Tianji Hall had as many treasures as the clouds. No one had ever dared to rob them. That was because all the people who tried to rob them were dead. Moreover, their families were killed. The people who killed them were completely afraid. One night, the moon was bright and the stars were sparse. The Tianyan Star Zone, one of the 38 star areas, welcomed a mysterious guest. This guest was Lin Fei. From the Wushuang Star Zone to the Tianyan Star Zone, Lin Fei quietly arrived at a special place in the Tianyan Star Zone. It was the branch of Tianji Hall. Not a single branch of the Heavenly Mystery Hall was built in a city. Instead, it was a branch of its own, and it had its own base outside the city. No matter which place it was, the branch of Tianji Hall was always outside. The treasures of Tianji Hall were priceless. Even if it wasn't in the city, it would still be crowded every day. No one knew how many people wanted to buy treasures from the branch of Tianji Hall. In this place, no matter how high one's status was, one had to behave. What a big Tianji Hall! And it's a big deal. Lin Fei came to the void outside of Tianji Hall. He was quite surprised to see Tianji Hall using materials to refine a treasure that can attack and defend. Tianji Hall has really put in a lot of effort. The branch of Tianji Hall was in fact a treasure. In the entire empire, only Tianji Hall could afford such extravagance. The richer Tianji Hall appeared to be, the better Lin Fei's mood would be. Scan Tianji Hall. Lin Fei was not in a hurry to act. Haste makes waste. The huge Tianji Hall was quickly scanned by the system. A 3D image appeared. Formations were displayed one by one and analyzed layer by layer. If the people of Tianji Hall knew how powerful Lin Fei was, they would definitely not put him on the wanted list. This was purely looking for trouble. As expected of Tianji Hall, a branch is actually stationed with 5 experts. 3 early stage rank 8, 1 late stage rank 8, and more than 30 7th rank experts. Moreover, this Tianji Hall can withstand the attack of a peak rank 8 expert. Without a certain level of strength, don't even think about breaking the defense of Tianji Hall. In such a situation, anyone would have to shake their head to express their helplessness. Lin Fei was very calm. Analyze the formation and find the loopholes. Tonight, I will break into Tianji Hall. so that they know, in front of the Avengers. A mere treasure is useless, Lin Fei sneered. Begin the analysis. The system's powerful analysis and deduction ability was completed in less than 30 minutes. Formation cores appeared one by one. As long as they attacked at these positions, they would be able to break into Tianji Hall. My revenge will begin from here. Lin Fei began to move. Array formation scrolls shot out one by one. And at this moment, those openings happened to be at the most opportune moment to strike. Boom, boom, boom. In the quiet night, loud rumbling sounds could be heard. The earth shook. The entire Tianji Hall, including the nearby cities, was alarmed at this moment. Chapter 2485. What's going on? The commotion seems to be coming from the direction of Tianji Hall. Oh no, someone is attacking Tianji Hall. How is this possible? Who is so daring to attack Tianji Hall? When the divine senses landed in the direction of Tianji Hall, everyone finally understood what was going on. Someone was attacking Tianji Hall. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would have doubted themselves. They wondered if they were seeing things. How could someone dare to attack the Heavenly Secrets Hall? Could it be that they didn't know the strength of the Heavenly Secrets Hall? Even if it was a branch of Tianji Hall, the loud rumbling sound tour opened the prelude to the attack on Tianji Hall. What shocked everyone the most was that there was only one person attacking Tianji Hall's branch. It was not a large group like everyone had imagined. It was completely beyond their imagination. That's an array formation scroll attack. He's from the Avengers, someone exclaimed. After hearing this, everyone immediately came to a realization. It seemed that other than them, no one else would have the guts to attack Tianji Hall's branch. Everyone was looking for the Avengers, but they didn't expect that the other party would take the initiative to appear alone. Wasn't he worried that he would be suppressed? Ha ha ha, I've really searched far and wide for you. I'll capture you to claim the reward. This is mine. In the void, a tyrannical aura appeared, suppressing the mysterious man. This was an opportunity. Who didn't want to cooperate with Tianji Hall? As long as they captured this guy, it would mean that they would be qualified to be friends with Tianji Hall and even cooperate with them in the future. If there were more people, everyone might be vigilant. But now that the other party was alone, they didn't care at all and didn't pay attention to the rumors outside. More than a dozen large hands reached out from the void. At this time, everyone was shameless. Whoever captured the other party would gain unimaginable benefits. There were also some who did not make a move and stood at the side to observe. These were all old foxes who were more vigilant. They all knew about the battle outside the Imperial City. It seemed like the other party was also alone, and in the end, no one could stop him. Facing an unknown force, before understanding the situation, the best choice was to observe and not offend them. Scram! A cold glint flashed across Lin Fei's eyes as he roared at the sky. A deafening sound exploded in everyone's ears. In the void, a series of groans rang out. After that, a series of black shadows fell down. Following that, a series of sounds rang out in an orderly manner. It was extremely terrifying. With just one roar, there were heavy casualties. In the distance, only some of the major figures knew how terrifying this roar was. They immediately took out their treasures and formed barriers, and they felt quite shocked. Are the people of the Avengers this powerful? Everyone was afraid of each other. Today, I'm here for revenge. If anyone wants to die, feel free to come forward. I'll personally send him on his way. Lin Fei's cold voice resounded in the night. The Tianji Hall branch was also caught unprepared. Ever since Tianji Hall's influence spread, very few people came to cause trouble. As time passed, the people of Tianji Hall got used to living a comfortable life. They usually swaggered around. Who would have thought that someone would recklessly attack the Tianji Hall branch? In the Tianji Hall branch, the sitting elder opened his eyes. Such guts, daring to attack Tianji Hall, truly reckless. The sitting elder, Su Wei, came out of the secret room and appeared in the main hall. Activate the formation. Arrange for the Tianji Hall law enforcement team to kill the other party. This rank 8 late stage, Su Wei had the highest command in the Tianji Hall branch. The Tianji Hall law enforcement team was very terrifying and infamous. They were all equipped with energy guns. Any enemy that was attacked by them would definitely die. In the night, Lin Fei threw out array scrolls one after another, wantonly destroying the array core of the array. The huge array began to shake. It wouldn't take long for the entire array to be destroyed. Besiege Tianji Hall, kill without mercy. Besiege Tianji Hall, kill without mercy. A strict law enforcement team charged out of the array. They were all armed with mid-grade energy guns and wore special battle armor. The moment they appeared, they madly shot at Lin Fei. Beams of light that were like murderous swords enveloped Lin Fei's position. That's the law enforcement team, Tianji Hall's most ferocious combat force. Previously, a rank 8 professional expert was beaten to death by the law enforcement team. Lin Fei knew that Tianji Hall had a strong foundation, so he was still shocked to see the law enforcement team armed with mid-grade energy guns. With such equipment, Tianji Hall was indeed very terrifying. Whoosh! A barrier appeared in front of Lin Fei. The opponent's attacks all landed on the barrier, but it didn't move at all. There wasn't even a ripple. Mid-grade energy guns. The power is not bad, but it's a pity that it's still not enough. Lin Fei took out a black energy gun that was of a higher grade than the opponent's. Since you guys like to use this, I'll play with you guys. Those who had been paying attention all this while suddenly sucked in a cold breath. High-grade energy gun. Everyone's glasses fell to the ground. Regardless of whether it was a low-grade or mid-grade energy gun, as long as one had the connections, they could be obtained. Although there weren't many of them, most of them were in the hands of the royal family. High-grade energy guns were different. They were very special and extremely difficult to produce. Every single one of them was a divine weapon with terrifying power. Countless people had tried to get their hands on one, but none of them had been able to do so. The price was also very high. Damn it, that's a high-grade energy gun. How did he get it? Su Wei was very confident in the ability of the law enforcement team. When the other party took out the gun, his eyelids twitched. He knew that something was wrong. Lin Fei opened fire. Beams of light entered the bodies of the law enforcers. Their battle armors, which could usually ignore attacks, were so fragile in front of the beams of light. Every beam of light killed a member of the law enforcers. Clouds of blood mist kept exploding like brilliant fireworks, causing Daigon to be dumbfounded. A law enforcement team was instantly wiped out. This was the most powerful law enforcement team, but in the face of the mysterious Avengers, they couldn't even last a breath's time. Tonight, Tianji Hall is destined to be removed from the list. You guys are too arrogant to dare to issue a warrant for the Avengers. Lin Fei snorted coldly. Boom, boom, boom. More array formation scrolls were thrown over one by one, setting off a terrifying wave. At this moment, everyone finally believed in the terrifying power of the array formation scrolls. One by one, they threw them over without any regard for their lives. No matter how powerful they were, they wouldn't be able to withstand it. There was another loud rumble. Chapter 2486. This was the first time anyone had seen such a violent way of breaking through the array. The array scrolls in their eyes were money. Using money to break Tianji Hall's array was painful to think about. Even if you had money, this was not the way to use it. If you don't want the array scrolls, you can give them to us. Everyone knew about the array scrolls, but no one had seen them with their own eyes, especially those from the Tianyan Star region. Now, no one would doubt the power of the array scrolls. Boom! The moment the array broke, a terrifying ball of light shot out from Tianji Hall. Just the aura of the ball of light was enough to make one's scalp tingle. It was definitely a terrifying move. The ball of light exploded at Lin Fei's position, setting off waves of ripples that raised everything nearby to the ground. So what if you broke the array? Tianji Hall is not as simple as you think. Su Wei finally revealed a smile. Su Wei had a clearer understanding of the Heavenly Secrets Hall's array formation than anyone else. But tonight, someone had broken the rules and used an array formation scroll to break through the array formation. If the Heavenly Secrets Hall itself wasn't a treasure, they would have lost a lot of face tonight. One expert from the Avengers was already so scary. What if a large group of them came? Su Wei did not dare to imagine it. It seemed a little too scary. This news had to be reported. Su Wei did not want to say much about the decision of the upper echelons, but now he was sure that the Avengers were far more terrifying and mysterious than he had imagined. The array scrolls were a free attack method. The other party also had a powerful special barrier method and advanced energy guns. It was not easy to look at them. The only thing worth celebrating was that he had finally killed an expert from the Avengers. In any case, he had made a great contribution. Tianji Hall is indeed a unique force. They even developed this kind of energy storage method to attack. I wonder how many times this energy can support your attacks? In the night, Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back. He did not look the least bit embarrassed. Su Wei looked up. How did you know? This was the secret of Tianji Hall. Any of the treasures in Tianji Hall could absorb the energy of heaven and earth to support the array formation and form a special attack method. Normally, it would not be used unless it was absolutely necessary. The things in your Tianji Hall are all leftovers from our games. Since you dare to place a bounty on our Avengers, you should know the consequences. In this world, there is no medicine for regret. Lin Fei rushed down and raised his gun. This spear was too fast. A shield appeared in front of Su Wei, and the powerful impact caused the shield to sway, and cracks appeared on it. The second shot came. Crack! Su Wei was sent flying, smashing through a large number of buildings. Let's go! Su Wei flew up, and a dozen or so light beams shot toward him, sealing off his path. Battle armor immediately appeared on his body, and with a poochy sound, the light beams left bloody holes on his body. You can't do it! Another spear shot over. Su Wei's eyebrows jumped as he activated his shield with all his might, but he still couldn't block the attack of the light beam. The shield was torn apart, and the spear landed on his forehead, plunging him into endless darkness. A grand late-stage, rank 8 expert had never thought that he would die to a high-grade energy gun. If he had known that this high-grade energy gun wasn't an ordinary high-grade energy gun, he would probably have died with everlasting grievances and grievances. Lin Fei raised his gun. If you don't want to die, all of you kneel and surrender. With a high-grade energy gun, Lin Fei was like a god of death. Rank 7 to 8 experts were all killed with one shot. The stubborn ones were all killed, and they no longer had any ability to resist. Those big shots in the sky were all dumbfounded, their hearts trembling. A few shots killed a late-stage rank 8 expert. Although the opponent did not expect it, everyone had seen the power. Didn't this mean that as long as there was enough energy, even a junior had the qualifications to kill a rank 7 or 8 expert? These big shots felt a wave of unease. Were technological weapons really so powerful? Then wouldn't their lifetime of cultivation have been in vain? Little devil, try and see if you can control the formation of Tianji Hall. Lin Fei did not let down his guard. Avengers, who gave you the right to cause trouble in Tianyan Star Region. A roar resounded in the sky. A huge projection appeared in the night. A pair of sharp eyes shot out 2 terrifying rays of light, sweeping towards Lin Fei below. Those big shots were all shocked. The Tianyan region Lord is here. Only the Tianyan region Lord could cause such a commotion. They really could not think of anyone else. Lin Fei looked up. Tianyan region Lord, you also want to go against the Avengers? Boom, boom. 2 light balls shot out from a certain place in Tianji Hall, colliding with the opponent's light. The void trembled. The huge projection showed a trace of surprise. You actually know how to control the attack of Tianji Hall. The 2 light balls just now were the attack from Tianji Hall. With the help of the system, Lin Fei easily controlled it and casually released 2 attacks. Lin Fei did not believe that the Tianyan region lord would let him go because of this. Such a big shot must have a deep relationship with Tianji Hall. He would definitely take him down and hand him over to Tianji Hall. Condense the remaining heaven and earth energy into an attack. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Fei had nothing to fear. The energy collected by Tianji Hall was instantly used up, turning into many terrifying light balls that blasted into the huge projections area, exploding one after another. The major figures in the sky were all fleeing in a sorry state. Even they didn't dare to take the risk and stay. The energy released could affect them. In the night, they formed a dazzling presence. A mere projection dares to act fiercely in front of me. You are not qualified. Lin Fei took out a high-level energy gun and fired, quickly locking on to the huge projection. With a loud rumble, under the continuous attacks, the giant projection shattered into pieces. In fact, the huge projection did not have much power. It could deal with ordinary rank 8 powerhouses, but against people like Lin Fei, it did not even need to think about it. Withdraw. The huge Heavenly Secrets Hall rose from the ground and disappeared without a trace with a whoosh. Only a huge crater was left on the spot, proving the existence of the Heavenly Secrets Hall. Tianji Hall is gone. How did he take it away? It's unbelievable. Didn't they say that Tianji Hall is a special treasure? How could he take it away? The Tianyan region, Lord's projection, was destroyed. Can a powerhouse from the Avengers be so strong? Tianyan Star Region. Chapter 2487. Husband, your divine sense was shattered by someone. Why did you let that person leave? This isn't like you. A beautiful woman in a white court dress stood next to a handsome middle-aged man and giggled. This middle-aged man was the Tianyan region lord. The 2 of them stood in front of the railing. In front of them was an endless void, but in front of them, the void had become a huge mirror, showing the scene in Tianji Hall. The Tianyan region lord hugged the beautiful woman and said with a smile, "Husband, you have a good relationship with Tianji Hall. If you let that man continue to make trouble, Tianji Hall will definitely be unhappy. That's why you took action. Unfortunately, that man is too powerful and can't be suppressed. Unless you take action yourself, it would be too unwise. Judging from that man's performance tonight, the Avengers are not simple." The beautiful woman looked pensive. "Husband, you are so bad." The Tianyan region ruler said seriously, "Nonsense. I did attack him. That scoundrel was powerful, and I could only watch him leave. What else could I do? Recently, the people of the Demon God Empire have been invading the surrounding cities. If I had really fought with that guy, I might have fallen into his trap. It wouldn't have been worth it." The beautiful woman giggled. "Then what do you plan to do about this, husband?" the beautiful woman asked. The Tianyan region lord said with a smile, "What else can we do? We can't offend the Avengers rashly. My wife, you should have seen the strength of the Tianji Hall branch. Su Wei was killed in a few shots. This matter was caused by Tianji Hall, so they have to solve it themselves. Now, I'm looking forward to the auction of the Avengers. If I can get an advanced energy gun, that would be great." What happened in the Tianyan Star Zone was almost impossible to hide. In less than half a day, the Tianji Hall branch had been destroyed by the experts of the Avengers. Even the treasure of Tianji Hall had been taken away. The news spread like wildfire. Everyone was dumbfounded. The forces that had been searching for clues about the Avengers were all dumbfounded. They broke into a cold sweat and kept cursing in their hearts. Do they have to be so cruel? That's right. In everyone's eyes, the Avengers were too cruel. who did not know of the power of Tianji Hall's branch. Just a law enforcement team could kill a rank 8 expert, or at the very least, they could heavily injure the other party. Such a law enforcement team was easily killed by the enemy. The scariest thing was that the powerhouses of the Avengers had advanced energy guns in their hands. This was definitely a killing machine that could kill anyone it pointed at. For a moment, the big and small forces all ordered their people to stop. It would not be right to investigate the Avengers, especially when the projection of the Tianyan region master had been shattered by the other party. Who would dare to look for trouble? Tianji Hall also received the news immediately. The entire Tianji Hall was in chaos. The deputy had, personally, led his people to the Tianyan Star area. When he saw the huge crater in Tianji Hall, his eyes turned completely red. This is outrageous. This is too much. How much effort had been spent on the construction of Tianji Hall? The loss of any one of them would make one's heart ache. This deputy had hated the Avengers to the core. They had just issued a bounty and wanted order, and the Avengers sent them a huge gift, a resounding slap. Search, we must find Tianji Hall. The deputy head said this and directly went to visit the Tianyan region master, seeking his help. A Tianji Hall falling outside had a different meaning. As long as it was outside, Tianji Hall would never be able to raise its head. Everyone knew that Tianji Hall had suffered a huge loss this time. Many people were probably watching them as a joke. The Avengers slapped Tianji Hall in public. In the eyes of outsiders, Tianji Hall, which had been built as an iron fortress, was covered in arrays. Unless it was a rank 9 powerhouse, no one could break it. Ordinary rank 9 powerhouses would not attack Tianji Hall. In the entire empire, who was not afraid of Tianji Hall. On the way back to Tianji Hall, the deputy head received another piece of bad news. The Tianji Hall branch in another star field had been attacked by the powerhouses of the Avengers again. Just like in the Tianyan Star area, the other party only had one person. He single-handedly charged into Tianji Hall and killed the elder in charge. They had snatched away Tianji Hall. One wave did not stop, and another wave rose. Everyone understood that the Avengers and Tianji Hall were at each other's throats now. From then on, no one dared to look down on the Avengers. Those powers that had wanted to reap benefits from the Avengers all quieted down, not daring to touch the Avengers. Who knew if the Avengers would attack them? Even the Heavenly Secrets Hall couldn't stop them, let alone them. There were many smart people in the Empire. Everyone understood that if anyone interfered, it would not end well for them. Losing 2 Tianji Hall branches in a row had a huge impact on Tianji Hall's reputation. As long as the Avengers were not created, Tianji Hall would not be able to wash away its humiliation. Everyone was watching Tianji Hall's actions. In the remaining star fields, every Tianji Hall branch was put on a level 1 alert. This also caused no one to visit Tianji Hall. No one knew when the powerhouses of the Avengers would attack. If they died in an accident, they would not even have a place to cry. Tianji Hall did not disappoint anyone. After losing 2 Heavenly Secrets Halls consecutively, over 30 law enforcement teams were immediately dispatched. Each team was extremely mysterious, and any one of them could fight against a peak 8th job transition professional ranker. At the same time, they also wielded divine weapons. They had always been a mystery to the Heavenly Secrets Hall, and their strength surpassed that of the branch's law enforcement teams. Other than sending the law enforcement teams, they also sent rank 8 experts to oversee the place. They were all consecrated experts of Tianji Hall. Any one of them was a famous senior. Everyone knew that Tianji Hall had a deep foundation. Seeing these experts, they felt that they had underestimated them. Only the royal family would be capable of such a feat. Tianyan Star Field, Tianji Hall branch. Elder Qin, it's here. Vice sect leader Yulin pointed at the pit and said, I'll have to trouble you this time. You must find the other party's whereabouts. In order to find the nest of the Avengers, Tianji Hall brought a great expert who specialized in tracking to try to find the other party's traces. As long as they caught the other party, they would not have to worry about not being able to find the other party's nest. This old man will do his best. As a unique force, Tianji Hall collected a large number of experts and talents in almost all fields. If there were many talents, Tianji Hall would definitely be everyone's first choice. Elder Qin took out a round disc. The round disc looked somewhat special. His expression became solemn as he formed a hand seal. Condense. In the sky, specks of light appeared and entered the round disc. Gradually, the round disc lit up. Chapter 2488. Tianji Hall had suffered a great loss. How could they swallow this humiliation? Hence, they had hired a tracking expert. Yu Lin was the person in charge. As long as they could find the culprit, they would make the Avengers suffer even if they had to go to the ends of the earth. The disc was divided into many regions. Those who did not understand would be dumbfounded when they saw it. However, experts like Elder Chen's lips curled up into a smile as the disc lit up. That person's methods are very secretive. It's a pity that I didn't expect there to be a special occupation in this world that specializes in tracking the mastermind. Unbeknownst to them, Lin Fei, who was far away on the Monarch Peak, heard them clearly. They had set up special life forms in the vicinity to guard against the other party. They didn't expect to encounter such a thing. Lin Fei only noticed it when Little Devil sent a message. Tracking me? Tianji Hall is really scheming. After sweeping through 2 Tianji Hall, Lin Fei temporarily stopped. The 2 priceless Tianji Hall were enough to make them feel heartache for a long time. This thing was built using a combination method. Every piece could be disassembled. There was a certain degree of difficulty in doing so. You want to track my location? Let's see what you are capable of. Lin Fei didn't dare to look down on the heroes of the world. He had set up a backup plan. Actually, he wanted to see the changes in their expressions so that he could have some fun. Chase! Yu Lin and Elder Qin didn't know that they were being monitored. A light mark lit up on the disc and moved according to a fixed position. In the eyes of outsiders, it was chaotic. Elder Qin was engrossed in it. He shouted, "Chase!" The disc automatically flew over. Elder Qin and the rest chased after it. Seems like there is something to it. Lin Fei frowned slightly. The aura on his body seemed to have moved slightly. It was very weak, but he could still sense it. He knew that the disc should be a good item. It was tracking him based on the aura left behind. This is not good. Lin Fei had never thought of such a special occupation. Since they made this move, they must completely conceal their aura in the future to avoid trouble. Lin Fei walked towards the underground teleportation formation. In the next second, he arrived at the Xiaoyao Palace in the Wushuang starfield. Lin Fei felt a headache coming on. Who could guarantee that they would not chase him all the way to Imperial College? Tianji Hall's influence was not small. He had to be careful. Tianji Hall intended to send another gift. Lin Fei did not intend to be polite. He believed that Tianji Hall would definitely be very satisfied with this gift. Avengers, let's see where you can hide this time. Yu Lin hated the people of the Avengers. He was in charge of the Tianji Hall in the Heavenly Flame Star area. Now that something had happened, of course he would be displeased. Back then, when the Avengers were put up for arrest, he was in favor of it, and his attitude was very firm. As far as Yu Lin was concerned, the other party was clearly coming for him. It's a pity that I didn't bring another elder with me. Otherwise, I could have taken a look at what the other party looks like and taken them down in one fell swoop. Yu Lin kept following Elder Chen's direction. Elder Chen, where do you think the base of the Avengers is? Yu Lin asked. Elder Chen was not sure. It's hard to say for now, but if we follow this direction, the other party might be in the Heavenly Flame Star area. Wait, it's moving again. It seems that the other party is moving, Elder Chen said excitedly. What? The mysterious man is moving again. Yu Lin frowned. Hurry up and find the location. That person must be coming for the Tianji Hall branch. This time we can't let him succeed. Yulin was anxious. Don't worry, Master Yu. The mysterious man doesn't know that we are following him. As long as we follow him, we will definitely catch him. Elder Qin was very confident. The group moved faster, passing through one star area after another. The smile on Yulin's face grew wider. The mysterious man was not far away. He should be in the star area up ahead, Elder Qin said, looking into the distance. The disc slowed down. According to the information inside, the other party should be in the star area up ahead. Elder Qin relaxed. Tracking was not easy. It consumed a lot of mental energy. In order to track the people of the Avengers, any price was worth it. Elder Chen was just about to put away the disc to measure the specific location of the other party. When he relaxed his mind, he suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest. Boundless pain spread throughout his body, as if something was about to come out of his chest. Puff! A palm that was not too thick came out of his chest. Your tracking skills are not bad. Unfortunately, you've targeted the wrong person. A faint voice came into his ears, as if mocking him for overestimating himself. Elder Qin fell into endless darkness. Behind Elder Qin, a man in black mysteriously appeared. A hand pierced through his chest. His movement was unbelievably fast, beyond everyone's expectations. You are from the Avengers. Yulin's eyes were bloodshot. He waved his hand and punched out. I'll kill you. Killing a person with a special profession in front of him was an act of provocation. Yulin had thought about the situation of meeting with the Avengers, but he never thought it would happen at this time. It was too out of his imagination. Your Tianji Hall put a bounty on our Avengers to kill a few of your people. What can you do? Lin Fei grabbed with his 5 fingers, easily grabbing onto Yulin's fist. That powerful force instantly stopped. The only thing I didn't expect is that your Tianji Hall actually has a deputy head. A big fish. Lin Fei pulled with one hand. Yulin screamed. Ah! The arm that attacked was twisted off. Fresh blood flowed out. Lin Fei casually threw it away. I can only say that you are unlucky today. Lin Fei raised his hand and punched. It was a very ordinary punch, but it was this ordinary punch that sent Yulin flying. While he was flying, Yulin was blasted into pieces by a force in his body. He exploded with one punch. Lin Fei now had the strength to do this. A deputy head is dead. You guys are going to be angry. Ha ha ha. Lin Fei chased after him and grabbed a head. It was Yulin's head with a blank expression. He deliberately kept it. A certain star field, Tianji Hall branch. With the previous 2 star fields, the Tianji Hall branch was jittery every day. They were afraid that someone would come. They used to be arrogant, but now they were silent. The Tianji Hall branch was a treasure. It had both offense and defense. It had blocked many people, but it couldn't block the mysterious expert from the Avengers. They broke through 2 in a row and took away Tianji Hall. How could they not panic? Bang! There was a loud sound. The Tianji Hall branch shook nonstop. Everyone was so scared that their faces turned pale. People of the Tianji Hall branch, listen up. Tianji Hall is the first to dare to put a bounty on our Avengers. We have given you 2 gifts. This is the 3rd one. Keep it well. Ha ha ha. A few of the overseeing experts flew out and saw a black shadow attacking them. They subconsciously wanted to make a move. Don't attack. That looks like Yulin's head. One of the elders exclaimed in shock. When the others looked closely, they were all shocked and their expressions changed drastically. Chapter 2489. The higher-ups of the Heavenly Secrets Hall all had dark expressions on their faces. Humiliation. They had never experienced such humiliation before. 2 Tianji Hall branches were destroyed, and this was not the end. Vice Sect leader Yulin was also killed, and his head was even thrown in front of Tianji Hall's branch. This slap resounded loudly on their faces. The upper echelons of the Heavenly Secrets Hall were all enraged. The way they looked at others was as if they wanted to eat them alive. The members of the Heavenly Secrets Hall all hid far away, afraid that they would become the punching bags of the upper echelons. When the Avengers were mentioned, their expressions immediately changed. Everyone was shocked. Who would have thought that the revenge of the Avengers would be so unbelievably cruel? Our people hadn't even found you, but you had already given the Heavenly Secrets Hall a few resounding slaps and made a name for yourself in the Empire. Heavenly Secrets Hall had made a move to take revenge on the Avengers, and now they had killed one of their Vice Sect masters. It was clear that they did not take them seriously. Vice Sect leader Yulin's death made everyone realize that the Avengers were harder to deal with than they had imagined. Yulin was a rank 8 expert after all. He at least knew that the Avengers had sent out a rank 9 expert. Yulin's death caused Tianji Hall to hold a meeting for a day and night. Afterwards, an even crazier news spread, increasing the bounty. At the same time, the Expeditionary Guards also started to move, searching almost the entire area. The entire Empire was in a state of panic. The Empire cooperated with Tianji Hall's operation. No one was surprised. The impact of this matter was too great. To deal with the Avengers, the Empire's Expeditionary Guards started to move, conducting a large-scale sweep. It was a pity that the large-scale sweep did not yield any results. Tianji Hall sent out experts of special professions to try to find the other party, but it was to no avail. Tianji Hall's operation became a joke once again. The Avengers seemed to have disappeared mysteriously. It was as if they were no longer on the expedition to the Empire, blinding everyone's eyes. Even after a thorough search, no traces of them were found. For a time, the Avengers became mysterious once again. The other forces of the Empire also began to feel apprehensive. An untouchable and mysterious force was the most terrifying. From the tip of the iceberg, it seemed that this mysterious force's ability was no less than Tianji Hall's, or perhaps even greater. From the beginning until now, the people who came out from the Avengers were all alone. It seemed that the people of the Avengers liked to travel the world alone. He couldn't stop the other party from having strength. On the surface, they didn't find anything, but they didn't give up on searching in private. It wasn't a good thing to have a mysterious power as a neighbor. The operation did not yield any results, and the people in Tianji Hall were furious. Was there any power in this world that Tianji Hall could not find? Tianji Hall was greatly stimulated. Lin Fei was enjoying a leisurely life on the Emperor Peak. After knowing about the special occupation, Lin Fei did things more discreetly. He did not leave any aura, and even if there was, it would be destroyed completely. The failure of Tianji Hall's operation had a lot to do with this. The 2 Tianji Hall branches were not something that Lin Fei was interested in. However, this was a good thing. With a little modification, the effect would be better. He was just worried that there was no ready-made auction house. Naturally, Lin Fei was ready to use the items sent by Tianji Hall. Wasn't Tianji Hall awesome? Then, let's compete and see who was the most awesome. Lin Fei decided to take all the black crystal cards in the world. It would not be Tianji Hall's turn to share them. He also began to prepare for the upcoming grand auction. This was the first shot in the Avengers' plan. Lin Fei had to be careful. When the location was leaked, Lin Fei would definitely believe that Tianji Hall would not be able to resist making a move. There would definitely be a lot of people slacking in the dark. These were all things that he needed to pay attention to. If he wanted the auction to be a success, Lin Fei had to prepare enough force. Otherwise, they would not mind swallowing him whole. In the face of huge benefits, they would do anything. How's the renovation of these 2 Tianji Hall branches? In the underground base, Lin Fei looked at the 2 Tianji Hall branches. Now, these 2 Tianji Hall branches had undergone huge changes. Even if the people from Tianji Hall were here, they would definitely be dumbfounded. The difference was too big. The two Tianji Hall branches, under the fiddling of the little devil, merged together to become a huge Tianji Hall. If one did not know about it beforehand, one would definitely not think that these two Tianji Hall branches were merged together. The renovation is almost complete. All the formations are being strengthened and upgraded. What's left is the offensive aspect. Master can install powerful long-range offensive weapons. It's best if Master installs more offensive weapons. Anyway, Master has been rich recently and can afford to use them. When the time comes, it will be a matter of face, the little devil said with an arrogant expression. Lin Fei did not know whether to laugh or cry. You are going to use up all my black crystal cards. Master, this is not right. If you have fewer weapons, it will be a slap to our faces. When the time comes, if anyone is unhappy, they can fire 10,000 cannons at the same time. You can make a name for yourself and step on Tianji Hall in one fell swoop. Who do they think they are? With these trash, they dare to monopolize the business? The little devil said disdainfully. Lin Fei thought about it again and felt that the little devil was right. Tianji Hall monopolized all kinds of things. Even the empire's royal family could not do anything to them. Their influence was so great that it could affect the royal family. However, compared to the things that the little devil made, the difference was huge. When the two were compared, the difference was like heaven and earth. Breaking the legend of Tianji Hall was indeed very easy. Then how many black crystal cards do you think we need to prepare? Lin Fei could not help but ask. The Avengers Alliance wanted to create a unique existence. The auction was an opportunity. Once the auction was successfully held, its influence would affect all forces, big and small. Whether this cannon could be successful or not was crucial. The black crystal cards became very important. Master, you need to prepare at least 5,000 black crystal cards. For example, this auction hall needs to be strengthened, upgraded, and remodeled. At least 2,000 black crystal cards are needed. When the time comes, it will be an impregnable empire. It is not something that the trash made by Tianji Hall can compare to. As for the other thing that needs to be prepared, Master needs to prepare your martial arts. This is a chance for Master to show off. 5,000 black crystal cards. Lin Fei frowned slightly. It was still within the acceptable range. With such a huge number, only Lin Fei could have such an expression. He had a lot of good things on him. Now it seemed that he needed to find a buyer. Chapter 2490. Fan Luoyu came uninvited. As the Emperor Peak's array formation was still active, the Empire's princess was denied entry. This jerk. For some reason, Fan Luoyu felt like throwing a tantrum every time she came to the Emperor Peak. Lin Fei, you're dead meat if you don't let me in. Fan Luoyu gritted her teeth. This was not the first time she had been denied entry. The only person in the Empire who could deny her entry was Lin Fei, the jerk. She had a terrible impression of him. What brings senior sister here? What a rare guest. Compared to the previous time, she was in luck this time. Lin Fei walked out of the Emperor Peak and said with a smile. Fan Luoyu felt that there was something wrong with Lin Fei's gaze. He was beaming with excitement, which was different from usual. You're finally willing to come out. Fan Luoyu's words sounded weird, and she had no idea what was going on. Lin Fei said seriously, Senior, I've been busy and haven't been back for more than a few days. I was just about to look for you. Fan Luoyu naturally did not believe Lin Fei's words, especially after guessing some clues. You don't intend to invite me in. They arrived at the Emperor Peak again. In the same courtyard, Fan Luoyu felt that it was necessary to wake Lin Fei up. Junior Lin Fei, you should be a peripheral member of the Avengers, right? Fan Luoyu said as soon as she sat down. She was observing the changes in Lin Fei's expression. She believed that she would be able to make Lin Fei suffer this time. It was his fault for being so nonchalant in front of her. No one had ever dared to treat her like that. Moreover, She was the Empire's princess. She could not even see any respect from Lin Fei. Fan Luoyu was prepared to give Lin Fei a good scare and was secretly proud of her cleverness. From some clues, Fan Luoyu believed that Lin Fei was definitely related to the Avengers. The only thing she could not be sure of was the exact location. If she had not seen the array formation scroll back then, she would never have suspected him. Fan Luoyu was now very confident, thinking that she had found her opponent's weakness. Unfortunately, Fan Luoyu was disappointed once again. You're indeed the Empire's princess. You've connected the dots so quickly. You're the first person to find out that I'm related to the Avengers. Lin Fei smiled with a calm expression on his face. Fan Luoyu's breathing quickened. This be asterisk starred. How can he not be nervous? Why isn't he nervous? Why did he confess? This was completely different from the script. Lin Fei laughed heartily in his heart. You want to scheme against me? You're far from it. Even if you know, so what? Lin Fei was very clear about what Fan Luoyu had in mind when she came. It was a pity that such a trick was child's play. After the teleportation portal was built, he really had nothing to worry about. If the Empire didn't want him, there would be a place that would. Lin Fei, how dare you? The Empire is putting out a bounty for the Avengers. Do you believe that one word from me and you will be reduced to dust? Even the Capital Institute can forget about putting in a good word for you. Fan Luoyu shouted. The Empire's Princess Fan Luoyu's rebuke, coupled with her own aura, was rather powerful. What greeted him was a mighty pressure that came crashing down from above. Those who were afraid of the imperial family and the Empire were so frightened that their limbs went soft. Lin Fei's expression didn't change at all. Princess, I'm not a 3-year-old child. It's better not to use such scary words. It's embarrassing. From the moment you arrived, you already knew. Since you knew, who would believe that you didn't bring the expeditionary guards? Fan Luoyu thought it made sense. For a moment, she couldn't do anything to Lin Fei. Let me guess. You came all the way here to get the array formation scrolls from me, right? Lin Fei smiled. If you want the array formation scrolls, you can just say it. If you don't say it, how would I know? Isn't it just a matrix scroll? I'll report it. Plus you're a princess. As long as you have money, I can sell you any matrix scroll. Lin Fei's waist swayed, his face full of the shrewdness of a businessman. This bastard is obviously waiting for me. Fan Luoyu suppressed her anger and regained her composure. She understood immediately. After understanding, Fan Luoyu felt that everything had fallen into this brat's trap. It looked like he had been waiting for her for some time. Wasn't he afraid that she would report it? This was something Fan Luoyu couldn't figure out. The world was vast. As long as the Empire wanted to capture someone, with Lin Fei's strength, the outcome would be the same. By then, he would have to spill everything he knew. You're different from ordinary people. You admitted it so quickly. Fan Luoyu, who had recovered, was very calm. You're also very brave. Lin Fei smiled. I'm just a small contact. The Avengers aren't interested in forces and territories. They're only interested in making money. They're motivated to create a unique existence. So you're saying that the powerful treasures that the Demon God Empire obtained previously were sold to them by the Avengers? Fan Luoyu suddenly thought of something. You've guessed correctly. However, I'm not the person in charge. There are countless people like me in the Avengers. They contact various forces and sell treasures in secret. Maybe your brothers and sisters are also working with the Avengers. Lin Fei said innocently with a smile. A strange look flashed in Fan Luoyu's eyes. The Avengers are really preparing to compete with Tianji Hall. Fan Luoyu reacted quickly and realized how terrifying the Avengers were. If such a mysterious force were to really work with other forces, it would undoubtedly be a very scary thing. Lin Fei scoffed. Tianji Hall is nothing. The last time we, the Avengers, sent out a deacon and wiped out 2 Tianji Hall branches. Even now, Tianji Hall is helpless and is running around like a headless fly. What a joke! Fan Luoyu knew that she had made the right trip. She seemed to have seen the tip of the iceberg of the Avengers. I want formation scrolls and energy guns. Do you have both of these things? Chapter 2491. Fan Luoyu left the Emperor Peak with complicated feelings. She had never had such a feeling before. The only thing that made Fan Luoyu happy was that she seemed to have found a new channel. The appearance of the Avengers was undoubtedly a significant blow to Tianji Hall. Tianji Hall had formed a monopoly in the empire, and the royal family had some complaints about it. For example, this time it was Tianji Hall who had made use of their powerful network to get the empire to issue a wanted order. If the Avengers were to really appear, it would be a huge blow to Tianji Hall. Fan Luoyu could only make a concrete evaluation after seeing the first transaction. The Empire's princess is indeed a princess. She's really generous. This Fan Luoyu isn't simple either. After Fan Luoyu left, Lin Fei sat in the courtyard and crossed his legs happily. Just now, Fan Luoyu had taken out 1,000 black crystal cards for the first cooperation. 1,000 black crystal cards were clearly the first probing cooperation. Lin Fei didn't care. After deducting the system's cost, he could earn at least 800 black crystal cards from 1,000 black crystal cards. Even Tianji Hall couldn't match up to such efficiency. The transaction would naturally be delayed for some time, but Lin Fei wasn't anxious at all. Today was a good start, and he wasn't interested in knowing why Fan Luoyu was buying these things. It would be great as long as there was a steady flow of money. Under the night sky, in Qinlan's mansion, a figure descended quietly and appeared in Qinlan's secret chamber. "It's you." Qinlan was cultivating in seclusion. A cold aura descended, scaring her. After sensing a familiar aura, she realized who the person was. Her breathing was also a little hurried. "Saintess Qinlan, it's been a long time. Congratulations. You've gone up another level in the Empire." Qinlan said, "Thank you for your praise. To be honest, I should be the one thanking you. If not for your items, I'd still be a low-ranking Saintess candidate. How would I be qualified to compete with them?" Speaking of this, Qinlan was still very grateful. The arrival of the mysterious person in front of her undoubtedly made Qinlan realize that cooperation had come again. There were quite a few people from the Empire who were targeting him. They clearly had opinions about him and believed that the last transaction was a coincidence. This also caused Qinlan to be in deep trouble recently. "Holy Maiden Qinlan, you really know how to talk. Let's make a long story short. This time, I would like to cooperate with you again. I need at least 4,000 or 5,000 black crystal cards. This is a list. You can report it to your superiors." Qinlan was obviously shocked. 4,000 to 5,000 black crystal cards? Big deal. Qinlan also heard it clearly. This time, she had a list to choose from. As long as this cooperation was successful, no one would be able to shake her position. Even those Saintess candidates would have to admit defeat. It's better to work with the demon god empire than the princess of the empire. Lin Fei returned to the Emperor Peak happily. Working with the empire for any business was the most satisfying. The only thing they had to worry about was the possibility of the empire taking advantage of the empire. Lin Fei did not know what kind of commotion the list would cause when it reached the demon god empire. Now, all he had to do was sit back and wait. Half a month later, the first transaction between Lin Fei and Fan Luoyu was completed. The place of cooperation was at the Emperor Peak. Fan Luoyu was naturally shocked again. Ever since she had left that day, she had arranged for people to monitor Lin Fei in the dark. Lin Fei had never left Emperor Peak. That thing had entered without a trace and had even avoided everyone's detection. This made Fan Luoyu feel terrified of the Avengers' abilities. The fact that they dared to do business at the Emperor Peak was enough to prove their disdain for the Capital Institute. This was proof of their ability. What excited Fan Lui the most was that the items they were working on for the first time were all perfect, surpassing the items produced by Tingy Hall. When the two were compared, the difference was obvious. The first impression of the items produced by the Avengers was that they were of the finest quality. Almost no one knew about such a silent collaboration. Only Lin Fei and herself were present. Fan Lui was very satisfied with this collaboration. Those who did not know would only think that she was here to look for Junior Lin Fei. She now had a rather good excuse. The second big order might not take long. Lin Fei took note of Fan Luoyu's changes. It would not be long before the big order came. Looking at the time, Holy Lady Qinlan's side should be almost done. Lin Fei thought of another matter. There were still 4,000 to 5,000 black crystal cards to be sold. The success of the auction in the future was rather important. Another night fell. Holy Lady Qinlan's luxurious residence was brightly lit. Unlike usual, this time there were several middle-aged men and old men with powerful auras sitting beside Qinlan. At this moment, they were all resting with their eyes closed. Qinlan's expression was not normal. You will definitely regret this. Ever since the list had been submitted, it had caused a huge uproar among the Demon God Empire's upper echelons. The news of the expedition to the Empire had also reached the Demon God Empire. The upper echelons of the Demon God Empire were rather clear about the Avengers that had appeared out of nowhere. It was easy to imagine the commotion caused by the return of this list. Qinlan's name was taken seriously once again. There were conflicts everywhere, and it was the same in the Demon God Empire where Qinlan was. The conflicts were also very intense. The upper echelons behind Qinlan had been schemed against, and the opportunity to lead the collaboration had fallen into the hands of another faction. Holy Lady Qinlan's credit had also been taken away. If there were no accidents, all these benefits would fall into the hands of one of the Saintess in training. Hence, Qinlan today. Qinlan, are you sure that mysterious person will come tonight? An old man who was resting with his eyes closed slowly opened his eyes, emitting a cold aura. He will definitely come. Qinlan did not dare to look at him, and there was a trace of fear in her eyes. This old man was a high-ranking elder whom she could not afford to offend at the moment. He was known as Elder Demon Eye, and he had a notorious reputation within the Empire. When I left the last time, he will come today. Elder Demon Eye glanced at Qinlan and revealed a sinister smile. It's best if he can come. I hate it when people learn how to lie. I'll be very angry. Elder Demon Eye, Sister Qinlan is so smart. How could she lie? Not far away, there was a woman in the same black palace dress. She was dressed very provocatively, and she was one of the Saintess in training. At this moment, she was giggling. Elder Demon Eye sneered. It's good that you know. The Empire has invested a lot in this matter. If it's a lie in the end. Chapter 2492. If the Avengers Alliance and the Demon God Empire could really cooperate, it would definitely be a mutually beneficial matter. Whoever completed this task would have made a great contribution. Even though Qinlan was a rising star, the impact this time was too great. There was no room for any mistakes. The higher-ups arranged for a higher-up to personally take charge of this cooperation. Elder Demon Eye was the person in charge this time. To Qinlan and her faction, it was equivalent to someone plucking peaches. All the benefits had been taken away. So who would be the greatest contributor? Time ticked by. Elder Demon Eye also appeared a little irritated. As a member of the Demon God Empire's upper echelons, it had always been others waiting for him, not the other way around. Qinlan, are you sure you'll come? Elder Demon Eye asked again. I'll definitely come. Qinlan also felt guilty. At this juncture, she couldn't go back on her words. She had heard of Elder Demon Eye's personality. You should know how high the expectations of the Empire is for this matter. If you work for nothing, you know the consequences. Elder Demon Eye sneered. If there was a chance, Elder Demon, I did not mind knocking the Saintess candidate down. Recently, Qianlan had become a well-known figure in the upper echelons of the Empire. In the eyes of others, this was not a good matter. If this continued, she might even snatch away the spotlight of the Saintess candidate. He's here. Elder Demon, I suddenly opened his eyes. A mysterious, black-clothed man appeared in front of everyone. The most unbelievable thing was that there was no fluctuation at all. Elder Demon, I was secretly fearful. This mysterious person should be from the Avengers Alliance. The rumors say that the Avengers Alliance is mysterious and unfathomable. It should be true. Because of this, Elder Demonic, I took it seriously. Your Excellency, you're finally here. I thought you wouldn't come. Qianlan knew that this was her last chance. Whether or not she could get back everything she had lost depended on this mysterious person. Qianlan's words caused Elder Demon I to be dissatisfied, and a fierce glint flashed in his eyes. The black-robed Lin Fei already knew this would happen. He could not help but sigh. The struggle between empires was also a form of knowledge. From the looks of it, it was clear that Qianlan's faction had been suppressed, and someone else had come to snatch the credit. Elder Demon, I stood up. Your Excellency, I'm a member of the Empire's upper echelons. I have full authority to handle this cooperation. We can sit down and have a good chat. Elder Demon, I looked at Qianlan and felt as though she had fallen into an abyss. Her body trembled slightly. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. The upper echelons of the Empire? I'm sorry, I don't know her. In my eyes, the person we're working with this time is Miss Qianlan. Your Excellency, are you mistaken? Your Excellency, a look of displeasure flashed across Demon Eye's face. Demon for Demon Eye for Demon. Even though the Avengers were mysterious, they would not be able to gain any advantage over the Fey God Empire. The fact that they had come here personally was a show of respect to the other party. Hee, who do you think you are? Lin Fei said calmly, if the Demon God Empire wants to cooperate, then sit down obediently. If you dare to say another word, the price will be increased by 10%. If you are willing to pay a high price, then go ahead. Lin Fei really didn't care about the Demon God Empire. Sir, you're just an errand boy for the Avengers. Do you think it's worth it to leave a bad impression on the Demon God Empire for a Saintess candidate? The black-clothed woman said coldly, You've got guts. Lin Fei turned around and shot out a beam of light. The black-clothed woman was sent flying, her body covered in blood. I'm in a good mood tonight, so I'll let you live for now. Who do you think you are to threaten me? Even when Elder Fiend I saw the arrogance of the Avengers, he couldn't hold it in any longer. He had thought that this trip was in the bag. As a member of the upper echelon, he had shown them enough respect. Sir, you hit the Saintess of the Demon God Empire in front of me. Aren't you looking down on me? Elder Fiend I's gaze was cold. However, as long as you take out the item, I can pretend that I didn't see this. Elder Fiend, I regretted letting Qianlan wait for the other party. Without Qianlan, this wouldn't have happened. Qianlan was delighted. At least one thing was right. This mysterious person was very arrogant. He didn't give face to Elder Fiend I, an injured Saintess. He was quite hot-tempered. This also gave Qianlan a glimmer of hope. If the Demon God Empire needed help from the Avengers, the upper echelon wouldn't make things difficult for him. Even if he killed a Saintess, they wouldn't even blink. In front of the Empire, benefits were the most important. You dare threaten me? Lin Fei snorted coldly. Boundless pressure came crushing down. He took a step forward and punched out violently. This punch was ferocious and terrifying. It was like the punch of a sovereign descending on the world. Elder Fiend, I opened an eye on his forehead and shot out a ray of light. However, he couldn't block this punch. The light was shattered by the punch and landed heavily on his chest. His powerful defense was completely useless at this moment. Pung! Elder Fiend, I slammed into the wall and knelt on one knee. He kept coughing out blood. This is the first time. If there's a second time, you'll definitely die. Even if the experts of your empire come, I'll kill them without mercy. Lin Fei's cold gaze swept across Elder Fiend I. Elder Fiend, I instantly felt a wave of death descend. It was the true aura of death. I'm a member of the Empire's upper echelon. If he really dares to kill me, he really will kill me. Elder Fiend, I had never been wrong about his feelings. If Lin Fei said that he would kill him, he would definitely kill him. He had underestimated how terrifying the person in front of him was. Elder Fiend, I had originally planned to suppress Lin Fei. If he could rope him in, that would be for the best. Only now did he realize how ridiculously wrong he had been. The people from the Avengers Alliance weren't just ordinarily powerful. Cough, cough, cough. This is a misunderstanding. Elder Fiend, I suppressed the uneasiness in his heart and tried his best to calm down. The person in front of him was much stronger than him. The black-clothed saintess was already dumbfounded. To be able to injure an elder of the upper echelon with a single punch, wouldn't that mean that he was at least a 9th transition professional expert? Then this Avengers Alliance was a little too crazy. Lin Fei said, "You're lucky to have met me. If you had met the other deacons, they wouldn't be as soft-hearted as me. They wouldn't be able to kill you just like that. Even if the Heavenly Emperor came, it would be useless. Your demon god empire might even suffer a setback. For example, not long ago, Tingy Hall put out a bounty for us, but in the end, 2 Tingy Hall branches were destroyed by a few deacons." Elder Fiend I's entire body turned cold. He finally understood what Lin Fei meant. If the people from the Avengers Alliance were the deacons, didn't that mean that the Avengers Alliance was more terrifying than he had imagined? Chapter 2493. Lin Fei did not want too many people to know about the deal. The Demon God Empire had taken matters into their own hands and arranged for a higher-up of the Empire. Lin Fei did not like it and wanted to find a chance to knock some sense into them. He did not expect them to take the initiative and let him knock some sense into them. After this round of knocking, Lin Fei believed that the Demon God Empire would not dare to act rashly in a short period of time unless they understood the background of the Avengers. Was that possible? Absolutely not. After the Avengers had made a few appearances, the announcement had spread to the 2 empires and some hidden forces. Everyone would subconsciously think that the Avengers was a huge force with a clear division of labor, and so on. Who would have thought that they were a paper tiger from the beginning? Qinlan, why don't you talk to this excellency? Elder Demon I was still fearful. He could only rely on Qinlan now. Qinlan finally felt at ease. She knew that this mysterious person was very strong, but she hadn't expected him to be this strong. He had injured Elder Demon I the moment he appeared and had suppressed him to the point where he was obedient. To be honest, she was a little envious. When would she be able to reach this realm? However, Qinlan quickly realized that her chance had come. It was obvious that this mysterious person was not willing to talk to them, so she might not be able to take the credit. Qinlan immediately took out a written list. This is what our empire wants. There's a total of 6,000 black crystal cards. Lin Fei did not look at the list. There's no problem with the items. However, due to your attitude this time, the price of these items will be increased by 10%. 6,600 black crystal cards. This is the discounted price that pretty good mood, am giving you. He opened his mouth to have 600 more cards. That felt great. Qinlan agreed decisively, afraid that the other party would increase the price again. This is what we should pay. 6,600, our empire agrees. Lin Fei looked at Qinlan and said, "You're not bad. You'll be the contact person for our cooperation from now on. That higher up, do you have any objections?" The last sentence was directed at Elder Demon I. Elder Demon I would not dare to say that he had any objections. I agree. Qinlan is a person who knows how to do things. Our empire has no objections with her being the contact person. 5 days later, we'll do the transaction here. It's finally done. After returning to the Emperor Peak, Lin Fei did not check out what would happen next. This was as far as he could help Qianlan. As for how far she could go next, it was up to Qianlan. On this point, Lin Fei was unable to help. After 2 rounds of cooperation, they had obtained more than 7,000 black crystal cards. This was a huge number, but Lin Fei was still not satisfied. To be safe, they had to continue cooperating. Lin Fei was bold and decided to find a few more buyers. Rather than one person being happy, it was better to have everyone be happy. That night, Lin Fei snuck into the Nangong family and saw Nangong Dihao. "Friend Nangong, your friend is here. Aren't you going to greet him properly?" When Lin Fei sneaked into the Nangong family, Nangong Emperor Hao reacted quickly. After a small fight, Nangong Emperor Hao recognized this person. It was the mysterious person from the Avengers who had made him suffer. "What are you doing here? Believe it or not, with just a word, you won't be able to escape." Nangong Emperor Hao was very surprised. He had always hated this mysterious expert from the Avengers. "Isn't it just a small victory? I'm still holding a grudge against you," Lin Fei said with a smile. "If you don't want to see me, I'll leave immediately. However, you will lose an opportunity. Perhaps the Su and Long families will soon stand above you." Nangong Emperor Hao really wanted to capture the other party. However, thinking about the other party's ability, Nangong Emperor Hao did not dare to guarantee success. Don't forget, the other party could carry a large number of array scrolls. Who could withstand the repeated attacks of array scrolls? Even Nangong Emperor Hao himself could not do it. What opportunity? The opportunity to cooperate. For example, the things that your family has always wanted. Our Avengers Alliance has all of these. Your Nangong family has always been suppressing the Su and Long families. If you can obtain the things of our Avengers Alliance, your Nangong family will once again pull apart the distance between you and Long families. In the battle of the ancient desolation great world, your Nangong family will have an absolute advantage. Don't you think that this is a very rare opportunity? Nangong Emperor Hao was very surprised. A mysterious power that no one could find actually came to him one day to cooperate. He secretly rejoiced that he did not let the other party leave just now. If he had chosen the Su and Long families, the only advantage that the Nangong family had would be gone. Your words have moved me. After leaving the Nangong family, Lin Fei negotiated a deal of 800 black crystal cards. After all, it was the first time they were cooperating, so the other party would definitely have some reservations. Lin Fei did not care. If there was a first time, there would be a second time. Lin Fei did not believe that Nangong Emperor Hao could endure it. Lin Fei then went to the second family, the Long family. Just like the Nangong family, when Lin Fei threw out the words of cooperation, the other party was also moved. No one could reject such an opportunity, a chance to grow stronger. The Long family's deal was a success. Compared to the Nangong family, the Long family's first deal was 1,500 black crystal cards. Su family, Mo family, and the other stronger families, Lin Fei paid a visit to them one by one and reaped a bountiful harvest. That night, the major powers in the imperial capital were all extremely excited. Although they had always been guests of Tianji Hall, ever since the Avengers Alliance displayed their terrifying strength, these major powers were secretly stirring. A mysterious power that appeared out of nowhere produced things that were not inferior to Tianji Hall's, and their prices were not very expensive either. With more choices, they naturally did not want to buy things from Tianji Hall. There was nothing more delightful than the people of the Avengers Alliance taking the initiative to look for them. In the following days, Lin Fei was still quite busy, and he had to complete one deal after another. The only thing that impressed Lin Fei was that the news of his visit was tightly sealed, and not a single trace of it was leaked. He smiled. The good days of Tianji Hall were coming to an end. After tasting the benefits of the first batch of goods, the goods of Tianji Hall became inferior. He was busy for a full month. Lin Fei finally completed all the deals. The number of black crystal cards had reached over 10,000, and Lin Fei had made a lot of money. If word of this got out, it would make people jealous. After the first deal, they immediately proposed a second cooperation. All of them were very eager. Even if they knew that Tianji Hall was not going to deal with the Avengers Alliance, they could not care less. Lin Fei rejected all of these requests. He only told them that the Avengers Alliance was preparing for an auction, and that they would have everything they needed. Chapter 2494. This place won't do. It won't do either. It's not a good location. Just as everyone was thinking of collaborating with the Avengers for the second time, Lin Fei quietly came to the outskirts of the Empire to find a suitable location for the Merchant Guild. Lin Fei would not choose a location within the Empire. Be it the Demon God Empire or the Empire, they were not the same and were not safe. To choose a location, he had to leave the two empires. According to his original plan, Lin Fei wanted to set up in the ancient wilderness world. The powers there were complicated, and it was the most suitable location. After all, it did not matter if there was one more or one less Avengers. In the end, Lin Fei rejected this idea. It was rumored that the ancient wilderness world was located in a special place. One had to have the coordinates to enter. Apart from the major powers, no one else knew of this place. He rejected this idea for the time being. Lin Fei personally chose a location. Almost 10 days had passed, but he had not found anything. It was not that the location was not good, but there were some problems with the surroundings that did not satisfy him. Do I really have to set up a merchant guild in the ancient wilderness world? Coming out from a small continent, Lin Fei looked a little tired. The job of choosing a location was not easy. The future Avengers Merchant Guild did not have to do much. After the two Tianji Hall branches were remodeled, all they needed was a suitable location. It was just a small place, but it gave Lin Fei a headache. After wandering outside for another 4 to 5 days, Lin Fei returned to Emperor Peak. The problem of choosing a location was temporarily delayed. The Empire's princess, Fan Luoyu, had arrived. I want these things this time. Fan Luoyu sat down and took out a list. Once raw, twice cooked. This was the working relationship between Lin Fei and Fan Luoyu. Your Highness, you sure have a big appetite. Are you planning to recruit soldiers to buy your mother? Lin Fei glanced at it and said in surprise. The price on the list was at least 3,000 to 4,000 black crystal cards. This was a big deal. 3,000 to 4,000 black crystal cards might seem like a lot, but Fan Luoyu had quite a number of forces behind her. Splitting it up, it was not a large number. Fan Luoyu glared at Lin Fei. What are you saying? Who would say something like that? But your item this time, Fan Luoyu was really infuriated by Lin Fei's words. You know about the ancient wilderness world, right? That place has been rather chaotic recently. These things were bought to increase one's strength. I almost forgot your Avengers Alliance has not expanded to that world yet. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat, and he casually asked, Hasn't the ancient desolation great world always been very peaceful? Could it be that something could have happened? I heard that the Empire has a territory over there. Could it be that they can't suppress those people? Fan Luoyu had recently arranged for people to investigate Lin Fei. The more she investigated, the more she could not see through Lin Fei. She could not guess his position in the Avengers. The matter over at the ancient wilderness world had become something that Fan Luoyu was very worried about. If not for the previous batch of items, they might have been greatly weakened. There's an energy wall stone mine over there. Although our empire has this kind of mine, it doesn't produce much. Normally, our energy wall stones come from the ancient desolation great world. This time, an extremely high-quality energy wall stone mine has appeared. Based on a rough statistical analysis, This mine can produce at least 5 million black crystal cards. Lin Fei was shocked. He had put in so much effort to get his hands on just over 10,000. Someone else's mine could produce 5 million black crystal cards. That was a little terrifying. Once this mine appeared, all the forces in the ancient wilderness world fell into a fight for it. Fan Luoyu had always felt that Lin Fei was not simple, and did not mind talking about something that was not too secretive. Lin Fei did not ask Fan Luoyu about the ancient desolation great world. 5 million black crystal cards. That's a rather large number of mines. It's normal for everyone to be envious. No wonder you want to buy a batch of treasures. Lin Fei still agreed to this deal with Fan Luoyu. The deal would be in half a month's time. Fan Luoyu did not say anything. If these things were taken out too easily, she would probably doubt herself. In half a month's time, she was shocked. This efficiency was too fast. Ancient desolation great world. This place is rich in resources. A single mine can produce 5 million black crystal cards. This mine can turn a force into a top force. No matter how bad it is, it can still be a first-rate force. Lin Fei was eager to make a move. Even if the black crystal cards were fast, they could not keep up with the consumption. He had to go to the ancient wilderness world. It was a pity that the coordinates of this world were a secret. It was such a big place. One more force meant one more opponent. Only the upper echelons of the empire knew about it. I can only wait for the academy. Lin Fei could also forcefully obtain it. This way, it would be easy to expose some clues. Do not underestimate the empire. There would always be smart people. If he went from the Capital Institute, no one would know. Obtaining the coordinates openly would be the most beneficial to Lin Fei. Furthermore, no one would suspect him. Perhaps it was because of the turmoil in the ancient wilderness world. The academy's training that had not yet begun had actually begun ahead of time. Lin Fei was the newcomer king of the academy and also the lecturer of the array techniques department. He easily obtained the qualifications. Even if those people were not too happy, they could not resist the advantage of being a lecturer. Lin Fei, you must be careful when you go to the ancient desolation world this time. That place is not like our Star Domain Empire. It is more like a desolate place, filled with danger. Many geniuses of the academy have died in the ancient desolation world. Chun Yuanshan rarely warned Lin Fei. Big brother Chin, danger is only interesting. Those geniuses of our academy, if they don't go through the experience, aren't they just flowers in a greenhouse? They can be destroyed with just a little bit of effort. Lin Fei said disdainfully. Chun Yuanshan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Thinking about it carefully, it made sense. With your attainments and formations, as long as you are careful, you should be fine. Oh, right, you must pay attention to the Long family and the Nangong family. Those few geniuses of theirs have quite a bit of an opinion of you. Lin Fei was rather grateful for Chun Yuanshan's reminder. Although the two of them were mutually beneficial, the fact that Chun Yuanshan could remind him was out of good intentions. I will. Lin Fei nodded. Chapter 2495. The ancient wilderness world had always been the training ground for the geniuses of the Capital Institute. Dangers lurked everywhere. It was either man-made dangers or attacks from the desolate beasts living in the ancient wilderness world. The Capital Institute would always remind the geniuses to enter the ancient wilderness world. As the new king of the batch, Lin Fei was naturally the focus of attention. Only after experiencing the tempering of blood and fire can a prodigy grow. More than 80% of the elites of the Capital Institute were training in the ancient wilderness world. There was only life and death in this place. In a restricted area of the Capital Institute, Lin Fei and the rest arrived at the restricted area and saw one of the teleportation arrays. This teleportation array was the most special and could lead to the ancient wilderness world. Everyone stand up. The person leading the team this time was a vice principal. He was known as the fourth principal in the institute and was ranked last. This was because he spent most of his time in the ancient wilderness world and was in charge of overseeing it. If one was not particularly familiar with him, they would not know of his existence. The fourth principal's surname was Zhang, and his name was Lung. Just like his name, he was extremely cold. There was a scar on the left side of his face that made him look ferocious. Under the gaze of Vice Principal Zhang Lung, everyone, be it arrogant or self-righteous, kept their thoughts to themselves. Before they came, everyone had warned them not to offend this Vice Principal Zhang Lung. As there were many people going this time, they were split into 5 batches. Each batch had about 30 people, making a total of 150 people. Lin Fei belonged to the first batch. The first batch was also the most powerful batch. Those geniuses subconsciously distanced themselves from Lin Fei, as if they were isolated from this group. Lin Fei did not mind such petty actions. The teleportation took a little longer this time. Lin Fei was not idle. The system was constantly analyzing and collecting data. He could roughly determine that the ancient wilderness world was located at a node in the void. If one did not have a guide, they would never be able to find such a place in their lifetime. Only the upper echelons of the empire knew about this great world. It was clear that this great world was different. We're here. When everyone saw what was happening again, they could no longer remain calm. At this time, they were standing on a tall, round platform, looking into the distance. The towering mountains were taller than any of the mountains in the empire. The towering trees were like giants standing between heaven and earth, exuding an ancient and dangerous aura. This place is indeed different from the rest. Lin Fei casually sized up his surroundings. The most eye-catching thing was that all the creatures in the world were so tall and majestic, emitting a majestic aura. At this time, they were in a rather desolate place. They were surrounded by huge stone buildings, which were completely different from the buildings in the imperial capital. Roar! A thunderous roar came from afar. The terrifying roar passed through the crowd. The geniuses present were all in a wretched state. Some of them fell to the ground, their faces abnormally pale. At this time, a young man walked over. This group of people is not bad. That sound just now came from the ancient desolate world's level 5 desolate beast, Gale Bird. It specializes in sound wave attacks. We have set up an array here that can reduce its power by 70%. The young man laughed. The power was reduced by 70%. The expressions of all the sky prides changed slightly. Look, that's it. Suddenly, someone looked in a certain direction. In the sky, a huge black shadow appeared. It was like a huge dark cloud. Within a few breaths, it flew across the sky, not far away. Its ferocious eyes made everyone shudder with fear. That's the level 5 desolate beast, Gale Bird. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This was definitely a terrifying existence. They could even see the disdain the Gale Bird had for them. It was clearly an existence with spiritual intelligence. All right, everyone follow me. I'll arrange for your accommodations first. This young man was a Sky Pride from the previous batch. He had been training here for 3 years and was now a 6th transformation expert. This 6th transformation realm was achieved through life and death experiences. Even the 7th transformation experts of the imperial capital could only admit defeat if they encountered him. The young man introduced the situation here. The surrounding 3,000 miles were all the territory of the Imperial Capital Institute. It was also the so-called safe zone. The desolate beasts of the ancient desolate world, and those tribes would rarely attack the Imperial Capital Institute's territory. However, once you leave the safe zone, then congratulations, you will be in danger at all times. If you were unlucky, you might even be killed in front of your home. This was the first time everyone heard that the Imperial Capital Institute's branch had taken 500 years to establish a stable foothold in the ancient desolate world and establish a branch there. Senior, who are those people? When they passed by a certain place, they saw a huge stone tablet. On the stone tablet, there were names of people, The young man introduced, "This is the Heaven and Earth ranking specially created by the Imperial Capital Institute. The left side is the Heaven ranking, while the right side is the Earth ranking. Those who kill powerful, desolate beasts or even ancient beasts in the ancient, desolate world will have contribution points recorded here. These contribution points can be used to exchange for all sorts of special resources that can only be found in the ancient, desolate world." Ha 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 ha. So the first place on the Earth ranking is actually a disciple of our Long family. Long Batian laughed. "This place is too interesting. It's a good place to train." Humph. Our Nangong family also has names on the Earth ranking. We have as many as 3 names. Nangong Yuming revealed a hint of pride. As a genius of the family, she already knew some things about the ancient, desolate world. The elites of the empire are all in the ancient, desolation world. This is the best place to gain experience. It is said that the ancient, desolation world is the place where the real experts gather. Every expert here is extremely powerful. Another person revealed. The young man was not surprised by everyone's actions. When he first came, it was the same. You will know the details of the ancient, desolate world sooner or later. Now, I will arrange for you to rest. The long-distance transmission array had some effect on everyone. Soon, everyone was arranged to a courtyard. Lin Fei was also given a courtyard. The courtyard was empty and there were no servants. Later on, he found out that the Imperial Capital Institute's branch here had to be self-reliant. When the young man left, he left behind a one-time use jade talisman that recorded the basic information about the ancient, desolate world. It was also information that every newcomer had to digest. Lin Fei immediately began to check the relevant information. Chapter 2496. Ancient Desolation Great World, Imperial Academy Branch. If you did not personally come to the ancient Desolation Great World, you would never know how terrifying this world was. The Imperial Academy had many talents in the Empire, but in the ancient Desolation Great World, it was still difficult to move an inch. Just the establishment of such a large branch took a lot of time and effort, resulting in the current situation. In the first 3 days, the newcomers did not have anything to do. Instead, they all found the family disciples of the Academy branch and quickly integrated into their circle. If there was anyone present who did not integrate, it would be Lin Fei. In the ancient Desolation Great World, Lin Fei was also alone. He had no family, no power. Basically, he stayed in the small courtyard and rarely went out. The ancient Desolation Great World is the most interesting world. Lin Fei sat in the courtyard, smiling. Not only did this place produce a large number of energy wall stones, there were also some special materials that could not be seen in the Empire. This was also a place that any expert dreamed of. Any great power would strive to establish a base in the ancient Desolation Great World. As long as the base in the ancient Desolation Great World was not destroyed, the inheritance of the family would last forever. This was because they would have an endless stream of resources to support them. For example, the energy wall stone mine this time had more than 5 million pieces, and a large number of powers had interfered to fight for it. Things like this were common in the ancient Desolation Great World. The ancient Desolation Great World was simply too big and rich in resources. Even the 2 great empires seemed extremely small here. How do we get out? Finding a secret place is a problem. In 3 days, Lin Fei had a rough understanding of the ancient Desolation Great World. Other than the Academy branch, this place was considered a safe place. Once he left and entered the Endless Mountains, danger lurked everywhere. Lin Fei was confident that he could solve those dangers. The management of the Imperial Academy branch was very strict. It was very difficult to leave, at least for this group of people. Lin Fei, come out. Just as Lin Fei was pondering, the sound of chaotic footsteps came from outside the courtyard and immediately surrounded the courtyard. Lin Fei, come out. Outside the courtyard, a group of people clustered around a burly man. This man had the back of a tiger and the waist of a bear. His upper body was draped in a beast skin battle robe, revealing his bronze-colored skin. There were many scars on his skin, making him look exceptionally sinister and terrifying. A group of people were shouting outside. The burly man in the lead didn't try to stop them. Instead, he looked indifferent. "You're just a newbie. You should behave yourself here. If he dares to bully you in Imperial College, then here I dare to bully him too." The burly man sneered. Many people noticed the situation here. "Isn't that someone from the Su family? It seems to be Su Ingxiong, ranked 70th on the Heaven list, a 6th-cycle great Earth swordsman. He had once killed a stage 7 darkness violent bear in the ancient Desolation Great World, and is extremely powerful. Hero Su is here to help his family." "Who is Lin Fei?" "He's actually worth Hero Su taking action, personally." This was a common occurrence at the Imperial College branch. The Academy branch's vice principal did not care. As long as there was no life and death, he would rarely appear, nor would he blame them. In the vice principal's words, the ancient Desolation Great World was a place that ate people. If you couldn't even beat your own people, then don't even mention fighting those desolate beasts and even stronger ancient beasts. From then on, the Capital Institute branch became a very violent place. Because of this, the prodigies of the academy improved very quickly. All of them were hot-tempered and would attack at the slightest disagreement. Bullying the weak? That was because you were not as strong as the other party, so you bullied the weak. If you didn't want to be bullied, you had to cultivate nonstop and break through again and again. This time, it was indeed the Su family who had come to cause trouble. Su Zhang, the prodigy who had wanted to fight for first place, was also a direct descendant of the Su family. Hero Su was not very talented, but after finding out about Su Zhang, he immediately came to help. If this was outside the academy, perhaps it wouldn't work. But here, one status was established through strength. Generally speaking, it was rare for a newly arrived prodigy to not be suppressed by others, unless one chose a backer. The Capital Institute branch was also filled with people. Regardless of whether one was strong or weak, newcomers would always have to find a backer. Even though Lin Fei and his group were only here for training and would not stay for long, since they were here, they had to accept the rules here. "Sister, do you think that newcomer King Lin Fei will dare to come out?" On a building not far away, a beautiful, short-haired young girl said to a girl in black beside her, "Regardless of whether he comes out or not, that lad will definitely suffer. The Su family is not easy to deal with." The girl in black had a frosty look on her face. Traces of coldness appeared around her and converged into white threads. "Sister, don't you need helpers? Why don't you take in that Lin Fei? After all, he is the newcomer king and can suppress the Nangong family, Long family, and other forces." The girl in black was still as cold as ever. "Lin Fei, this newcomer king, has stolen the limelight from too many people. Those few people are already unhappy with Lin Fei. It's a pity that he was born in a bad family and will be suppressed here for a short period of time." The short-haired girl suddenly pointed to the front. "Sister, look. Nangong Jianma from the Nangong family, Long Hung from the Long family, Mo Wu from the Mo family, and Mu Shang Taoist from the Mu family. Why are they all here?" In the Capital Institute branch, if you didn't know these few people, you would be too behind the times. They were the few forces at the top of these mountains. Especially these people, almost all of them were in the top 15 of the sky roll and had strong rallying power. The appearance of these few people could be said to have caused a huge uproar. There had never been anyone worthy of them appearing together. This Lin Fei seemed to have a lot of influence. "This is getting interesting." The girl in black revealed a rare smile. The commotion outside the courtyard naturally couldn't be hidden, and it was immediately heard by the vice dean, Zhang Lun. He appeared to be extremely calm. These stinking brats only know how to mess around. What kind of status do they have to find trouble with Lin Fei? Aren't they afraid of being laughed at? A confidant beside him said, Do you want me to reprimand them in case they really make a move? After all, Lin Fei is this year's newcomer king and is also an aristocrat. The Institute has requested us to take care of him. If anything happens to him, it will have a huge impact on us. Among the prodigies who came for the trial this time, the only one they had to pay attention to was Lin Fei. He was a prodigy who could become a top-notch expert in the future. Zhang Lang said, Don't worry, he won't die. They don't have the guts. I also want to see what kind of person that Brad is and whether he is worthy of the Institute's nurturing. Chapter 2497 Nangong Jianma, Long Hung, Mo Wu, Wooden Taoist. Any one of these names was a well-known figure in the capital Institute branch. Apart from a limited number of people who could suppress them, everyone else had to admit defeat. First, Nangong Jianma. He was a 7th-stage professional at a young age and cultivated the supreme sword Dao. He had once become a demon because of this. Later on, he changed his name to Nangong Jianma and became known as the Demon Emperor of Swords. After changing his name, Nangong Jianma's sword Dao rose to a godly level. When he fought with others, he would only need to use one sword to determine the victor. In the capital college branch, Nangong Jianma's sword Dao was the strongest. Long Hung came from the Long clan and was also one of the influential figures. His talent was not very good, but due to his good fortune, his talent actually mutated during a life and death situation. He possessed the powerful physique of an ancient beast and always used his fists to fight with others. Even in the same realm, everyone was helpless against him. He was known as invincible in the same realm. Mo Wu was slightly weaker, but he was also an influential figure. He grasped the powerful thunderbolt attack. His most tyrannical attack could even attract the thunderbolts of the world. From then on, he was undefeatable. The last one was Wooden Taoist. His name was very special and his talent profession was also very strange. He could summon towering trees to fight for him. The older the towering tree, the stronger its battle strength. He even grasped special methods. Especially in the ancient desolation world, he could develop his talent to the extreme. Everyone would have a headache if they encountered any one of these individuals. Now, for influential figures appeared at the same time. It was really a big commotion. Suing Xiong, long time no see. You're still the same as last time. You haven't improved at all. This is too disappointing. Long Hang's upper body was naked. His bulging muscles were a strong visual impact. As soon as he came up, he laughed out loud. Su Ingxiong lowered his head when he saw these four. Even though he was also in the top 20 of the heaven list, there was still a gap between him and them. Unless the eldest brother of the Su clan was here. Long Hung, what is the meaning of this? Su Ingxiong snorted. Long Hung smacked his lips and said, Nothing, I just looked down on you. Bullying people like you is the most boring. If that person from your Su clan was here, I might be afraid. But you are far inferior. As a big clan, the Su clan did have a heaven's favorite who was ranked in the top 15 of the sky list. He was as famous as Long Hung and the others. Su Ingxiong was indeed lacking. Nangong Jianma was carrying a black sword box on his back. As he stood in front of everyone felt a great pressure. Even their skin felt a slight pain, and they retreated one after another. Jianma, don't you know how to restrain your sword intent? Fortunately, I never wear upper clothes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to withstand your torment. Long Hung shouted at Nangong Jianma again. Nangong Jianma was expressionless as a trace of sharp killing intent flashed past his eyes. Long Hung, you talk too much. So, 2 rays of light shot towards Long Hung. When these 2 beams of light appeared, everyone felt their scalps tingle. This was a supreme sword intent that could easily slice open a desolate beast's body. Long Hung remained unmoved as he sneered. Your supreme sword intent is useless against me unless you make another breakthrough. Right now, you can only leave a white mark on my body." A bright light flashed, and a loud clanging sound was heard. It was as if a thunderbolt had sounded in the clear sky. 2 white marks were left on Long Heng's naked upper body. Following a breath of Long Hung, the white marks instantly disappeared. "I forgot to tell you, my physical body has broken through another level. You have to work harder." The surrounding people revealed a shocked expression. "This is too terrifying. My physical body is only at the 3rd rank, but Senior Long Heng's physical body has actually reached the initial stage of the 8th rank. I really have to resign myself to my fate." No wonder Senior Nangong Jianma's sword intent couldn't tear apart Senior Long Heng's physical body. Initial stage of the 8th rank physical body, too inconceivable. The expressions of Nangong Jianma, Mo Wu Wei, Daoist Mu, Suing Xiong, and the others changed. Long Heng's physical body had reached the initial stage of the 8th rank, and it was even harder to deal with him. In the ancient Desolation world, the cultivation here was slightly different. The cultivation stones here cultivated both the inside and the outside. For example, the physical body cultivation was highly emphasized here. In the ancient Desolation world, there were a large number of desolate beasts and ancient beasts. Every one of them was extremely powerful. The experts living in the ancient Desolation world paid the most attention to the cultivation of the physical body. The physical body cultivation realm was divided into 10 ranks. Each rank was divided into the initial stage, middle stage, late stage, and perfection stage. There were 4 minor realms, and the difficulty of each minor realm was very high. Long Hung could cultivate his physical body to the initial stage of the 8th rank at such a young age. He could be considered as an absolute monster. Even many of the older generation couldn't break through to the 8th rank. In the ancient Desolation world, an 8th rank physical body wasn't rare. The experts of the tribes basically cultivated their physical bodies. Some of them had even reached the terrifying 10th rank physical body and could fight against the strongest ancient desolate beasts. Long Hung was very pleased. In order to break through to this realm, he had expended a lot of resources. Now he could finally suppress his opponent. "No wonder you were so unbridled today. It turns out that your physical body has broken through to the initial stage of the 8th rank. Not bad. Next time, your physical body might not be able to withstand my supreme sword intent." Nangong Jianma showed a trace of displeasure, but he immediately regained his composure and said calmly, "Hee, it's not easy to win against you once." Long Hung laughed mischievously. Among the people present, the only one Long Hung was afraid of was Nangong Jianma. Don't underestimate the fact that his physical body had advanced to the initial stage of the 8th rank. If Nangong Jianma really made a move and used the divine weapon made from the special materials of the ancient Desolation world, Long Hung couldn't guarantee that he could withstand it. Some of the special materials of the ancient Desolation world possessed boundless might. If anyone underestimated them, they might fail miserably. Long Hung had heard of such things many times. Brother Long's physical body has advanced to the next level. Congratulations. Mo Wu Wei chuckled. However, everyone is here for official business. If Junior Lin Fei doesn't show up, it would be a little boring. I think he's scared. Everyone here is an influential figure. Compared to us, this influential figure is obviously lacking. Why don't I invite him out? Daoist Mu Shang said disdainfully. With a flick of his finger, a vine extended in. Everyone could only hear the whistling sound of the vine entering. It was produced by an extremely fast speed. This was the attack method that Daoist Mu Shang was proficient in. Seniors, you've brought light to my humble abode. With a snapping sound, the vine flew back. The tough special vine had been chopped off by someone. Daoist Mu Shang's expression turned gloomy. Chapter 2498. Daoist Mu Shang's attack did not succeed. Lin Fei walked out from the courtyard and appeared in front of everyone with a calm expression, as if the person standing outside was not an expert on the celestial list. At this moment, Long Hung Nangong Jianma, Mo Wu Wei, Daoist Mushang, and the others all looked at Lin Fei, the new newcomer king of the Capital Institute. After seeing it with their own eyes, everyone's first reaction was that it was an exaggeration. This person did not look like the newcomer king at all. He was too ordinary. But it was precisely this commoner who had defeated the prodigies of their clans and won first place in this year's competition. Not only had he been made a noble, he had also been given a fief, and he had even been given the opportunity to enter the royal treasury and choose any 3 treasures. I thought the newcomer king had 3 heads and 6 arms. It turns out that he is just SOSO. I don't know what wind blew you to be the newcomer king. Su Yingxiong was the first to be displeased. Su Zheng, who was standing behind Su Yingxiong, also had an unnatural expression. To think that he, a direct descendant of the Su clan, had lost to a commoner. It was no different from being slapped in the face. After knowing the power of the Su clan, Su Zheng's first thought was to take revenge on Lin Fei. He wanted Lin Fei to be unable to rise up here and deal a heavy blow to the other party, shattering the pride of the newcomer king. Long Hung and the others all had smiles on their faces. It was a smile of disapproval. It was unacceptable for such a person to become the newcomer king. This also made the faces of the people from the other clans lose some light. In the circle of prodigies, it was fine to lose to everyone, but if they lost to an outsider, it would be a slap in the face. Lin Fei was equivalent to giving them a slap in the face. Even if they were of a higher generation, they would not be able to keep their faces. Such a newcomer king and a commoner at that. If they did not teach him a lesson, he might stand above them in the future. If they could suppress him here, it would be for the best. If they could subdue him, it would be the best. It would be equivalent to pulling in a top-notch expert for the clan, allowing the clan's legacy to continue. These prodigies were actually very smart. Otherwise, they would not have come at the first instance. There were only a few people worthy of their attention in recent years. What's up? Lin Fei said lazily. If there's nothing else, you can leave now. It's so boring to have a bunch of people surrounding the courtyard. Lin Fei's second sentence made everyone dumbfounded again. This was the new top student of Imperial College? Wasn't he too arrogant? Didn't he know what these prodigies represented? After a short moment of silence, Long Hung was the first to regain his senses. He could not help but laugh out loud. His laughter was as loud as a bell. Ha 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 ha, this is so interesting. You are really a weirdo. Long Hung did not care where he was. If he wanted to laugh, he would laugh. He did not need to give face to anyone. His laughter broke the awkward silence. Lin Fei, you actually dare to ignore us? Do you really think that you are the undefeatable rookie king? Su Zheng took the opportunity to speak coldly, leading everyone forward. The complexion of Nangong Jianma, Mo Wu Wei, and the others changed. They looked at Su Zheng with a trace of displeasure in their eyes. How intelligent were the geniuses here? How could they not understand the meaning behind those words? They disdained to do so. They had come. As for how to do it, it was a different matter. Lin Fei raised his eyebrows. So what if I'm ignoring you? If you have the guts, come and hit me. If you don't, then just stand there and shut your mouth. Your voice is really unpleasant. Su Zheng was distinguished and suave. He was the ideal Prince Charming of the ladies in the capital. After hearing what Lin Fei said, he was instantly flustered and exasperated. Even if you don't say it, I am also prepared to experience your brilliant moves. I want to see how you can get the first place and sit on the position of the rookie king. Su Zheng was the first to be dissatisfied with Lin Fei taking the first place. Actually, I am the same. Nangong Yuming also stood out. He was similarly dissatisfied. On that day, if nothing unexpected happened, he should have gotten the first place. All the glory should have belonged to him. Me too. Long Batian also stood out. Me too. One by one, the direct descendants of the clan stood out. They had long wanted to defeat Lin Fei personally. A disciple from a poor family didn't deserve to be with them. Only by defeating Lin Fei personally could they wash away the shame. It proved that they were the most powerful ones. Lin Fei was just lucky. At first, they didn't take Lin Fei seriously. As a result, he took the first place. Although they suspected that there was something wrong, they didn't dare to question him. What kind of place was the Capital Institute? It wasn't a place where they dared to be presumptuous for the time being. Now that they had the opportunity to trample on Lin Fei, they couldn't wait to trample on Lin Fei and wash away the shame. Lin Fei almost became the target of everyone's attack. Nangong Jianmao and the others didn't stop them. They more or less knew something about Lin Fei. They seemed to have some doubts about that assessment. Lin Fei taking the position of newcomer king indeed made many people dissatisfied. If it was a one-on-one battle, they would definitely beat him down and never be able to rise again. After all, being able to beat a future apex expert was something to be proud of. It was enough to prove their excellence. Sister, do you think that brat will be scared stiff? The short-haired girl said with a beaming smile, as if she wanted the world to be in chaos. The black-clothed girl said coldly, "You have to ask Lin Fei if he dares or not. If he doesn't dare, then from now on he will always be suppressed by others in the ancient desolation world. After all, this is not a safe place like the Empire. Here you can live today, but you might be killed tomorrow." The short-haired girl giggled. "Sister, you're too boring. It's been a long time since something so lively happened. You should at least smile. Everyone says that you're an iceberg princess." Facing the provocation of the clan's direct descendant, everyone was waiting for Lin Fei's reaction. Originally, there weren't many people outside the courtyard. Following the appearance of a few geniuses on the heaven list, a large group of people gathered outside to watch the show. At first, everyone didn't know who Lin Fei was. After a few words, everyone finally understood who this Lin Fei was. He actually had a great background and was a future apex expert. However, no matter how they looked at it, this Lin Fei didn't seem to be in a good situation. A second transition job was more or less too weak. If he didn't handle it well, he might really be suppressed by others. In the ancient desolation world, martial strength was always the supreme principle. Once you lowered your head, you would be treated as an easy target for others to bully for a long time. Newcomer king? This kind of honor was not enough to make a living here. Chapter 2499. 10 Black Crystal Cards? There was another awkward silence. Ever since Lin Fei had come out, there had been a few awkward silences. Su Zhang and the rest nearly vomited blood. Sparring required black crystal cards and 10 at once. What an exorbitant demand. Who do you think you are, Lin Fei? How dare you ask for black crystal cards? It would be fine if you were a top fighter, but do you count as one now? Su Zhang said angrily. Lin Fei laughed. Anyway, 10 black crystal cards. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made a move. Has my title of newcomer king become a cheap cabbage that everyone wants to step on? You can step on me, but you have to pay a price. Don't tell me you can't bear to part with 10 black crystal cards. No one had expected Lin Fei's words to be so vulgar, but on second thought it did make sense. He was the newcomer king, recognized by the Capital Institute. He was not someone anyone could step on. 10 black crystal cards did not seem like much at this moment. This was the ancient wilderness, great world. Energy wall stones could be produced in large quantities. Just the Capital Institute alone had many energy wall stone mines. 10 black crystal cards were really nothing. This had a lot to do with why the Capital Institute's geniuses wanted to come here to train. In the Empire, it was not easy to earn energy wall stones. But in the ancient wilderness great world, everything was simple. There was nothing to worry about. As long as you had the ability, you could complete the missions issued by the Institute. The reward was at least a black crystal card. Little Sue, I'll help you pay for 10 black crystal cards. Go teach this junior brother Lin Fei a lesson. Su Ingxiong reacted quickly. The first person to defeat Lin Fei had a completely different meaning. In comparison, 10 black crystal cards was too worth it. Su Zhang was a smart man and immediately reacted. 10 black crystal cards were a windfall to him. But to Su Ingxiong, 10 black crystal cards were really nothing. Isn't it just 10 black crystal cards? I'll pay. Su Zhang said first, before everyone else. No one was slow to react. They immediately reacted and secretly cursed Su Zhang for being shameless. This was the rhythm of wanting to trample Lin Fei underfoot. Each person will get 10 black crystal cards. I, the newcomer king, will have some fun with you. There won't be many opportunities, so you'd better make the most of them. Lin Fei said. At this moment, Lin Fei had become a greedy fellow in everyone's eyes. He seemed to be talking about black crystal cards at every turn. Take these 10 black crystal cards. Seeing everyone's reaction, Su Ingxiong took out 10 black crystal cards and gently threw them in front of Lin Fei. The Su clan is truly a nouveau riche. They didn't even blink when they handed over 10 black crystal cards. Lin Fei laughed and put away the 10 black crystal cards with a smile. Who else wants to spar with me? I only need 10 black crystal cards. More? Everyone had seen shameless people before. They had never seen someone like Lin Fei. After taking 10 black crystal cards, he actually asked for more. It seemed that whoever gave him 10 black crystal cards would fight with him. This was completely out of character. Nangong Yuming and the others frowned slightly, wondering what Lin Fei wanted to do. After taking the Su clan's black crystal cards, he still wanted to take the black crystal cards from other clans. Was he going to face a group of people alone? Whether it was the Su clan, the Nangong clan, or even the other clan's sovereigns, none of them was easy to deal with, and any one of them could defeat Lin Fei. Lin Fei, what do you mean by this? Su Zhang was unhappy. If someone beat him to it, he would suffer a great loss. In any case, he had to defeat the other party first. Lin Fei glanced at Su Zhang disdainfully. I am this year's newcomer king, so I have to live up to this title. Su Zhang, your strength is not bad, but you still have a long way to go if you want to defeat me. So, I have to find a few more people. Can't you see this? You. Su Zhang pointed at Lin Fei angrily. Shameless. Another awkward silence. At the beginning, everyone thought that the newcomer king Lin Fei should be very strong. But at first glance, they were disappointed. The other party seemed to be too arrogant. You, a second-stage professional, actually didn't take Su Zhang seriously and even wanted to challenge everyone. You really think too highly of yourself. Lin Fei, you are the most arrogant one among all the newcomer kings I have seen. Usually, arrogant people don't have a good ending. Nangong Yuming also stood up and sneered. After winning once, do you really think you are this year's newcomer king? Currently, Lin Fei was only at the early stage of his second-stage professional advancement. Nangong Yuming, on the other hand, had already advanced to the third-stage professional advancement, so defeating Lin Fei was naturally not a problem. Lin Fei, you are too arrogant. You are just a disciple from a poor family. You don't have any background. You are just a lucky bastard. How dare you act like a big shot here? Long Batian also said disdainfully, I can defeat you alone. One person is enough. Lin Fei didn't care about their words at all. You make it sound good, but it's better to fight. Lin Fei smiled. 10 black crystal cards. The chance to trample on the newcomer king has come. This is the last chance, Lin Fei said with a smile. Under Su Ingxiong's signal, Su Zhang decided to make a move in advance. He didn't want Lin Fei to be defeated by others. In any case, he had already taken the 10 black crystal cards, so no one could say anything. Lin Fei, you are too arrogant. Today, I will let you have a taste of our Su clan's power." Su Zheng roared and stretched out his hand. Heart-shattering palm. Countless palm shadows flew out from Su Zheng's hand, forming a huge palm in front of everyone. It was suffused with a cold aura and many people frowned. Su Zheng was in the late stage of his second stage professional advancement. Once he displayed the martial arts passed down in his family, he would have a considerable level of mastery. Moreover, he attacked in anger, so its power was naturally not weak. Lin Fei seemed to be a little surprised by Su Zheng's attack. Under the system's scan, Su Zheng's attack was full of flaws, which could be broken with any attack. He said calmly, "What a showy move, but it can't even withstand a single blow." One finger, with a loud rumble, Su Zheng's palm attack was suddenly pierced by a finger. A strong gust of wind blew, causing everyone's clothes to flutter, and they almost couldn't stand steadily. "You can lie down now," a disdainful voice rang out, and then a second finger was pointed at Su Zheng. It was an inconspicuous finger, but Su Zheng only felt a great pressure pressing down on him. It was as if he was the entire world, and with a pang he was sent flying. "Sigh, I already said that you can't withstand a single blow, but you still didn't believe me," Lin Fei said, shaking his head. Su Zheng had been defeated too quickly, and he didn't have the chance to display his tyrannical strength like other geniuses. Everyone only felt their vision blur, and then Su Zheng was sent flying. Chapter 2500. Lin Fei appeared tall and sturdy in front of the crowd. Su Zheng being sent flying in a single move had indeed shocked everyone present. They could see that Lin Fei's attack was not some special move, it was completely ordinary. Logically speaking, Su Zheng should not have lost so quickly. Formation, he used a formation attack, just now. Mo Wuji's eyes lit up as he understood. To be able to display a powerful attack in an instant and penetrate through everything, this is clearly the characteristic of a formation. Mo Wuji revealed a trace of astonishment. They more or less had some understanding of formations. To be able to do it as effortlessly as Lin Fei, it was something that they didn't even need to think about. It really seems like a formation attack. Nangong Jianma's eyes flashed with a trace of shrewdness. Just now, he didn't feel anything. This was the scariest thing. Silently arranging a formation, his life and death was in the opponent's hands. I remember now, he seems to be a lecturer of the formation department. I heard that it was Dean Chen who invited him. Nangong Yuming suddenly said. When everyone heard this, they looked at Lin Fei with deep fear in their eyes. Everyone was aware of the formidableness of a formation. Lin Fei was able to successfully arrange it in a short period of time and hide it from everyone's eyes. Naturally, no one dared to look down on him. Didn't they see that Su Zheng was sent flying? Lin Fei, what kind of hero are you? Su Yingxiong's face couldn't hold on anymore as he secretly cursed Lin Fei for being shameless. Using this kind of method to attack others was clearly bullying others. On the other side, they were also cursing Su Zheng for being useless as he was defeated in just a few moves. This was too shameful for the Su clan. Lin Fei said with a smile, "I am not a hero. Your clan, Su Zheng's realm, is higher than mine. Is it wrong for me to use a formation attack? If you have the ability, why don't you come up and give it a try?" Su Yingxiong was really angered, but he was also afraid of the opponent's formation. Until now, he still couldn't figure out the location of the opponent's formation. Everyone knew that formations were notoriously difficult to deal with. For a moment, he didn't know how to choose. It was fine if Su Zheng lost face, but if he went up and lost as well, then the Su family's face would be thrown all the way to their grandmother's house. They would be too ashamed to face anyone. Nangong Yuming, are you coming? Lin Fei ignored Su Yingxiong and looked at Nangong Yuming with a smile. I'll give you a chance. Nangong Yuming was quite confident. Now that he had stepped into the third stage profession, he was confident that he would not lose to Lin Fei. Knowing that Lin Fei had mastered the array attack, as long as he was prepared, he would definitely win in the end. It's not a big deal to defeat Su Zheng. Since you took the initiative to come here, I don't mind defeating you myself, Nangong Yuming said. I will tell you that the formation is not the only thing. Lin Fei frowned. That might not be the case. One punch. Lin Fei punched out. Under the guidance of his qi, the surrounding energy of heaven and earth formed a huge whirlpool, and the terrifying punch went straight for the yellow dragon. You are shameless! Nangong Yuming broke out in a cold sweat, as if he was in a deep abyss of fire. Then he was sent flying just like Su Zheng. He fell heavily on the ground, looking very embarrassed. My apologies. Thank you for your patronage. 10 black crystal cards, Lin Fei said with a smile. Nangong Yuming struggled to get up from the ground. You sneak attacked me. This doesn't count. Lin Fei's face sank, and he said coldly, as a proud son of heaven, you didn't even have the slightest bit of vigilance. You are such a failure as a proud son of heaven. If it was on the battlefield, would others give you the chance to attack? If you lose, you lose. Why should you not give in? A loser is never qualified to say such words. Nangong Yuming had never seen Lin Fei being so shameless. He believed that if he had been prepared, he would not have been knocked down by one punch. Anyway, this doesn't count. Nangong Yuming would never admit defeat. You win this round. Nangong Jianma admitted it straightforwardly. 10 black crystal cards, take them! When Nangong Yuming was about to speak, Nangong Jianma's sharp eyes swept over him, and he immediately shut his mouth. Although he was also a proud son of heaven of the Nangong clan, he was far inferior to Nangong Jianma. Nangong Jianma already had a certain say in the Nangong clan. Awesome. Lin Fei accepted it with a smile. What about you? Lin Fei looked over. This time, those proud sons of heaven didn't want to attack anymore. When the second punch was thrown, they felt a huge fluctuation of heaven and earth energy. As long as they were not fools, they could understand the meaning. If they went up, they would be defeated. If they wanted to defeat Lin Fei, they had to do it before his formation was set up. Although there seemed to be nothing in front of Lin Fei, they absolutely believed that there was something in front of them to protect them. With the heaven and earth energy covering them, they really couldn't do anything. Moreover, the ancient desolation big world's heaven and earth energy was very rich, far above that of the empire. At this moment, they had to stop thinking. It's really boring. Lin Fei shook his head. It was no different from sprinkling salt on everyone's wounds. All of them glared at Lin Fei, wishing they could teach him a lesson. Kid, you are not bad. Long Hung laughed. Let's go. Long Hung was the happiest. The huge fluctuation of heaven and earth energy let him know that it was impossible to defeat Lin Fei here, unless he made a move himself. Long Batian looked at Lin Fei hatefully and had no choice but to turn and leave. He had a bad temper, but it didn't mean he didn't know the meaning behind it. If he continued, it would only add gold to Lin Fei's reputation. He might as well leave quickly and leave some face. Let's go too. Nangong Jianma turned and left without saying anything. Mo Wu Wei, Taoist Mu Shang, and the others left one after another. Lin Fei looked at their backs to be able to establish their own mountain in the ancient desolation big world. None of them are simple. The more they are like this, the harder it is to deal with them. These people behaved very rationally. The more rational a person was, the more they would do things. For example, Long Clan. Whoever said that they had a bad temper, Lin Fei would definitely be angry with them. At the very least, this Long Hung was very powerful. He would happily bring his people and leave. However, fighting with these people is the most interesting thing. If a person spoke ruthlessly, that person wouldn't be much of a threat. Only Long Hung and the others were ruthless. They disdained to speak ruthlessly because it was too fake. They might as well speak for real. Lin Fei turned around and walked into the courtyard. Sister, you are so smart. Did you see through it? What kind of formation is that? It can actually cause such a huge formation. The short-haired girl chattered. The black-clothed girl frowned. Such a powerful formation. Could that kid be a formation grandmaster? This kind of formation that can control the heaven and earth energy is really rare. Ah, you don't know either? The black-clothed girl rolled her eyes. Do you really think that sister is omnipotent? Chapter 2501. Ancient Wilderness World, Capital Institute's branch base. Zhang Lung, the deputy principal, had been watching the entire battle outside the courtyard. In the end, he couldn't help but reveal a trace of surprise. Lin Fei! I didn't expect him to be an array formation expert. Even I can't see through this array formation. I really wonder where he learned it from. He's so young and promising. Zhang Lung paid a lot of attention to Lin Fei. This year's newcomer king was controversial. In certain circles, Zhang Lung knew that those people had belittled Lin Fei as the newcomer king and felt that Lin Fei was just lucky. After seeing him today, Zhang Lung knew that Lin Fei wasn't as weak as he had imagined. On the contrary, he was ridiculously powerful. Although he had relied on the power of the array formation, in Zhang Lung's eyes, mastering the array formation and setting it up unknowingly was also a kind of ability. Just like what had been said, the loser had no right to criticize the winner. Zhang Lung admired Lin Fei's words. I have to find some time to have a good chat with Lin Fei. Zhang Lung revealed a smile. Lin Fei had gained a firm foothold in this battle. At the very least, no one dared to have any ideas about Lin Fei. Even Nangong Yuming had been defeated by Lin Fei's generation of prodigies, let alone them. Everyone knew that Lin Fei's cultivation level wasn't high, but he had mastered an extremely powerful array formation. After that day, they recalled that Lin Fei had already been setting up the array formation when they were at the entrance of the courtyard. Then he had used words to stall for time and successfully set up the array formation, toying with everyone in the palm of his hand. His means were not ordinary. Only the Su family refused to admit their defeat that day. They felt that Lin Fei had used shameless means to win and was not worthy of being the newcomer king. They even said that Lin Fei was only good to look at, but was useless. They said that he would be exposed sooner or later. Everyone scoffed at the Su family's words. As long as Lin Fei had the array formation, they would be helpless. The Su family's words were like farts, and they became a laughing stock. After the incident that day, Lin Fei was once again ostracized and isolated from the circle. These days, Lin Fei did not care at all. He had basically been in the courtyard for the past few days, and later on he found out that the academy base had a library that contained a lot of information about the ancient desolation world. Thus, Lin Fei had a new choice, and spent the rest of his time in the library, flipping through the various information collected by the academy. As a result, Lin Fei's horizons were broadened, and he had a rough understanding of the ancient desolation world in his mind. 6 days passed in the blink of an eye. The new batch of people began to adapt to the environment and knew the dangers of the ancient desolation big world. Hence, on this day, all of them were gathered together, and Vice Dean Zhang Lung personally presided over it. In front of Vice Principal Zhang Lung, everyone was as obedient as a kitten or a puppy. All right, everyone has been here for a while. Although you are here for a short period of training, training is an essential thing. However, before that, you need to confirm your own strength once again. The ancient desolation world is different. You should all be on guard. Our academy base has set up a top-grade formation, isolating the ancient desolation world's powerful gravity pressure. Vice Principal Zhang Leng gave a simple introduction. The main point was to re-register their strength, emphasizing the problem of the physical body. Furthermore, it was clear that in the following period of time they had to cultivate their physical bodies to the 3rd stage before they would have the qualifications to go out to train. The ancient desolation world was indeed different from the masses. Just the gravity alone was a threshold that was not easy for the human clan to cross. Back then, How many human clan experts had been suppressed by the pressure of the heavens and earth? Their strength had been reduced by 20 to 30%, or even 40 to 50%. After many years of research, in order to survive in the ancient desolation world, a strong physical body was necessary. The human race's physical body was naturally weak, unlike the natives of the ancient desolation world, who specialized in training their physical bodies, causing their bodies to be extremely strong. They had once given birth to an invincible expert with a stage 10 physical body. A stage 10 physical body could even surpass a 9th stage professional ranker. Even if there were no stage 10 physical body experts, there were still quite a few with stage 9 perfection bodies. It was because of them that they restricted the development of the human clan in the ancient desolation world. Every batch of geniuses that came to the capital academy paid the most attention to the cultivation of their physical bodies. This was a threshold. The ancient desolation world used a special appraisal item that could appraise a person's physical body rank. Today, everyone had enjoyed it. Unfortunately, none of their physical bodies were above the 2nd stage. Most of them were at the 1st stage. Zhang Lung had already expected this situation. The star fields outside did not place much importance on the cultivation of the physical body. Only those few special powers where ordinary people would not cultivate. This is a special item of the ancient desolation world. We call it the ancient desolate pill, and it is a type of inner core that can only be produced by the desolate beasts here. Every body pill contains a portion of the special ancient desolate power, and you can use this special energy to strengthen your body. Because you are new, each person can obtain 20 ancient desolate pills. And if you want to obtain more ancient desolate pills in the future, you will need to complete various missions. One bottle after another was distributed. Each bottle contained 20 ancient desolate pills. Lin Fei had also obtained a bottle of ancient desolate pills. After the test just now, his body was much stronger than the others, but it was still only at the middle stage of the 2nd step. Compared to them, he still had a huge advantage. Other than that, the Long family's Long Baishan's body was also very strong. His body was at the late stage of the 2nd step, and he was the strongest person present. If everything went smoothly, he should be the first to raise his body to the 3rd step, returning to his own courtyard. The first thing Lin Fei did was to take out an ancient desolate pill. This pill was not very big, but once it was taken out, a special desolate beast could be seen inside the pill. It was roaring non-stop, bringing with it a huge pressure, causing one's mind to tremble. What a special creature! Is this a soul that is being absorbed into the pill? Lin Fei let the little demon analyze it, taking out an ancient desolate pill. Lin Fei sat down cross-legged and swallowed it. The ancient desolate pill transformed into a divine energy that was like a torrent and started to boil in his body. Every inch of his flesh and blood seemed to have encountered a great tonic, as they continuously absorbed the nutrients within. Lin Fei could clearly see that his flesh and blood were constantly growing stronger. Compared to his previous body, it was obvious that he had improved greatly. That's it. An ancient desolate pill did not have much of an effect on Lin Fei. Lin Fei calculated for a bit. With 20 ancient desolate pills, he would not be able to raise his body to the 3rd step. He did not think that a 3rd step body would allow him to run amok. He had to raise it further. Chapter 2502. It can't be extracted. It can't be replicated for the time being? Hearing the little demon's words, Lin Fei didn't feel good. He had hoped that the little demon could decipher the ancient desolate force, but after hearing the little demon's words, he felt as though a bucket of cold water had been poured over his heart. His greatest trump card had been rendered useless. Then when can you decipher it successfully? The effects of one ancient desolate pill weren't that great. If Lin Fei wanted to increase his physical strength, he would need a large amount of ancient desolate pills. Replicating and deciphering the ancient desolate force wasn't an option for the time being. This requires time to decipher. No matter what, it will take at least a few months. This is because the ancient desolate force seems to belong to a special substance that is of a higher grade than any other force. Lin Fei laughed bitterly. Even you have times when you can't handle it. The ancient desolate world is a little mysterious. There are two types of energy in the world. The ancient desolate force seems to be something that only desolate beasts or even ancient beasts can absorb. Humans can't. The little demon analyzed. Master, you don't have to worry. Since you have an energy gun, you can just hunt them. This is your good suggestion. Lin Fei rolled his eyes. And this is the best suggestion for the time being. With Master's weapon, the efficiency of hunting desolate beasts will be 10 times that of ordinary people. Lin Fei laughed bitterly again. Seems like I have to do it myself. The ancient desolate world gave Lin Fei a different experience for the first time. Lin Fei finally experienced it. A special force that couldn't be used by the system was really out of Lin Fei's expectations. Fortunately, he didn't have to rely on this to have an advantage over ordinary people. The ancient desolate pills effect didn't allow Lin Fei's physical strength to increase to the 3rd level. He was still a long way from reaching that level. Lin Fei could only accept the easier missions for now. Reward Hall, a special place in the Capital Institute's base. Here, the Academy would give out all kinds of missions, and each mission would have a mission reward. Most of them were special items, such as ancient desolate pills, special envoy materials, or even exchange for Academy points. After Lin Fei entered, he attracted the attention of many people. They all subconsciously distanced themselves from Lin Fei, vaguely squeezing him out. Lin Fei didn't care about this. Ostracize? Anyway, it didn't hurt a single strand of his hair. What did it matter? He could do whatever he wanted. On this point, Lin Fei was very open-minded. You have killed 30 rank 1 red flame rabbits and obtained 3 ancient desolate pills. You can obtain 10 ancient desolate pills for killing 20 second-grade platinum wolves. Hunting a 3rd-tier desolate beast. On the huge screen in the bounty hall, the relevant bounty missions were constantly jumping. At the same time, the bounty missions were clearly marked, making it easy for people to understand at a glance. At the same time, the mission also had a star rating. Rank 1 to 3 missions weren't very dangerous. Most of them were around 1 star to 3 star, and some were even around 2 star. In other words, the Tier 1 to Tier 3 quests were beginner quests. These active desolate beasts weren't very strong, and there weren't any strong desolate beasts within their range of activity. Most importantly, their range of activity was within the school's base. Hence, the difficulty of the missions was lower. As long as one's luck wasn't bad, they wouldn't encounter any strong desolate beasts. These Tier 1 quests, can't they be turned in nonstop? Lin Fei asked the relevant personnel. Yes, rank 1 to 3 missions are considered unlimited missions. As long as you can bring back enough desolate beast corpses, you can exchange them for ancient desolate pills. At the same time, you can accumulate points for every mission. Lin Fei was really worried that these missions could only be accepted one by one. Now, it seemed like this wasn't a bad idea. As long as he had enough desolate beast corpses, he could exchange them for ancient desolate pills. Although it was tough, it seemed like this was the only feasible method. After understanding the details, Lin Fei accepted the rank 1 to 3 missions and left the bounty hall under the shocked gazes of the staff. That guy accepted all the rank 1 to 3 missions. Isn't he Lin Fei? He is really arrogant and ignorant. Rank 1 and 2 missions are easy to complete. At most, it would take some time. But rank 3 missions are something he can complete. This rookie king is a little arrogant. Everyone remembered Lin Fei's insolence from a while ago. Knowing that Lin Fei had accepted many missions, They all revealed disdainful smiles. After all, this was the ancient, desolate world. It was completely different from the Empire. The difficulty of the missions wasn't ordinary. Usually, new members would work together to hunt desolate beasts. This was the first time they had seen Lin Fei's solo style. Everyone believed that Lin Fei would return in a sorry state very soon. He might even suffer greatly. Even though the Capital Institute's territory was relatively safe, no one could guarantee that there weren't any powerful, desolate beasts hidden in this safe zone. Lin Fei made some preparations and left the Institute's main entrance. Before he left, the base guard reminded Lin Fei that there was an array within the Institute's territory. The pressure of heaven and earth could only be withstood. Once he left this area, he would have to withstand the true gravity of heaven and earth. Never step out of the Institute's territory. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The moment Lin Fei stepped out of the Institute's base, the gravity of heaven and earth was like a black hammer that smashed down heavily. His entire body was crushed by the gravity. This sort of crushing gravity was just as it was said. A portion of its power was indeed dissipated by the Institute's array. It was just within the acceptable range. Lin Fei circulated his body slightly and shattered the gravity. His rank 2 body could still withstand it. This place's gravity really lives up to its reputation. It's no wonder the Institute advocates cultivating one's body. If one's body doesn't improve, they will never be able to leave this world. Lin Fei's eyes flashed a trace of seriousness. This place was not ordinary. Outside the college's base, what entered his eyes was a forest of towering trees. They were verdant and lush, with no end in sight. His ears were constantly filled with loud rumbling sounds, as well as slight vibrations. Lin Fei knew that this was caused by those desolate beasts. Lin Fei quickly entered the forest. As for flying, forget it. Due to the gravity of the ancient wilderness great world, one had to have at least a rank 5 body to fly in the sky. Otherwise, one would be pressed down and unable to move. Lin Fei could actually fly in the sky. After all, there was a limit to the gravity. As long as Lin Fei was willing to expend large amounts of energy to create a vacuum around him, he would be able to fly for short distances. In that case, the energy expenditure would be terrifying. This also became one of Lin Fei's trump cards. Roar! Just as he entered the forest, a huge black shadow leaped down from a towering tree. Its ferocious aura pressed down, and a cold light assaulted him. Chapter 2503. Level 1 Dire Beast, Teeth Splitter Rat. In the ancient Desolation world, these Level 1 dire beasts were as common as the hairs on a cow. They could be seen almost everywhere. Their vitality was abnormally strong, and they usually moved around in groups. Although it was only a Level 1 dire beast, with its naturally strong body and extremely sharp claws, even if it was up against a second transition job expert, it would still be able to kill the other party. As the first teeth splitter rat descended, black figures leapt down from the surrounding tall trees. In an instant, there were over 100 black figures surrounding Lin Fei. Is this a dire beast? The teeth splitter rat was more ferocious than he had imagined. Its cold gaze was like that of a venomous snake, making people feel extremely uncomfortable. Lin Fei punched upwards, and a strong gust of wind from his fist crushed the teeth splitter rats, sending them flying and crashing into the surrounding tall trees. They are actually fine. Lin Fei was very surprised. The strength of that punch was not very strong, but it was enough to easily kill a first job transition expert. He had not expected that the teeth splitter rats would be even more terrifying than he had imagined. Other than swaying a little when they landed, they quickly recovered and pounced forward again, not showing any signs of fear. Difficult to deal with. These were the 2 words that Lin Fei had come up with. After a few attempts, Lin Fei finally understood the deeper meaning of the word difficult to deal with. Level 1 dire beasts like the teeth splitter rats that lived in groups were indeed difficult to deal with. Moreover, There were over 100 of them. If there were thousands or tens of thousands of them, it would definitely be a headache. Die. Lin Fei punched out once again. This time he increased his energy output. The gust of wind from his fist was like a knife, slicing through the bodies of the teeth-splitter rats, causing their corpses to fall from the sky. In the blink of an eye, the pile of leaves on the ground was filled with the corpses of the teeth-splitter rats that had been cut into two. A level 1 dire beast, teeth-splitter rat, is enough to make me use the power of a third job transition expert. The dire beasts of the ancient desolation world are really not ordinary. Furthermore, this is just a dire beast. Above it, there are still ancient beasts or even ancient desolation beasts. Just how strong are those existences? Lin Fei shook his head, tossing this thought out of his mind. In the ancient desolation great world, there were a total of 3 living creatures. One was the desolate beast, the second was the ancient beast, and the third was the ancient desolate beast. Among them, desolate beasts were the most common, followed by ancient beasts. It was rumored that ancient beasts were evolved from desolate beasts and were existences similar to royalty. Any ancient beast was terrifyingly tyrannical. They were born with a powerful body and were the most capable existences with a 10th rank body. As for ancient desolate beasts, they were even rarer. No one knew if they existed. They were royalty amongst the ancient beasts and were extremely powerful. The legends regarding ancient desolate beasts were a long time ago. Today, Lin Fei sensed a different aura from the level 1 dire beast, the crackling teeth rat. Moreover, this was a desolate beast within the boundaries of the Academy's base, so it was most likely left behind by the Academy for training purposes. What a pity the severed teeth rat is useless and cannot be exchanged for the ancient desolate Dan. Lin Fei was a little disappointed. After killing more than 100 cracked tooth rat desolate beasts, Lin Fei prepared to leave. He wanted to find a desolate beast for the mission to kill. Wait. Just as he turned around, Little Evil Demon's voice came. Don't leave yet. Although a level 1 cracked tooth rat is nothing, their flesh and blood contain traces of ancient desolation power. As long as Master is willing to spend a certain amount of energy, you can use the system to refine it and make a semi-finished ancient desolate Dan. Lin Fei blinked. That works too. The ancient desolation power is a special type of energy. The system is temporarily unable to copy and extract it. However, through analysis, it is not impossible to obtain the ancient desolation power. It is possible to extract traces of the ancient desolation power from the corpse of a desolate beast. Lin Fei finally laughed. That's great. This way, the corpses of desolate beasts in the ancient desolation great world will no longer be of little value. No matter how much ancient desolation power there is, it can at least strengthen the body. This was a pleasant surprise for Lin Fei. In the ancient desolation great world, there were many desolate beasts. From the fact that they had become the enemies of the human clan, one could tell how much territory they controlled. Lin Fei turned around and kept all the cracked tooth rat corpses on the ground. It was a pity that the punch was too violent and the corpses were in a mess. However, for the sake of the ancient desolation power, Lin Fei endured it. In the end, hundreds of cracked tooth rats contributed an ancient desolate Dan to Lin Fei. This was still a semi-finished product. The effect is much worse, but it's still all right. Lin Fei consumed a semi-finished product. The effect was indeed much worse, but it also allowed him to see another path. This kind of semi-finished ancient desolate Dan can be made from 100 cracked tooth rats. Within the Academy, there are a lot of these cracked tooth rats, so there's no need to worry about not being able to find them. This is only a level 1 desolate beast. If it's a level 2 or level 3 desolate beast, the effect will probably be even better. It might even be comparable to a real ancient desolate Dan. Lin Fei immediately became confident. He took out a beginner-level energy gun. This kind of weapon was the most suitable for killing desolate beasts. At least when he was shooting them, it would not become tattered. Killing level 1 and level 2 desolate beasts was not a big problem. If it was a level 3 desolate beast, he just had to switch to a middle-level energy gun. Let the hunt begin. Lin Fei jumped down from the towering tree. The benefits of the cracked tooth rat corpses. It stimulated Lin Fei. Bang, bang, bang. Holding onto the beginner-level energy gun, Lin Fei walked in the forest. Once a level 1 and level 2 desolate beast appeared, they were all killed cleanly. One after another, semi-finished ancient desolate Dan was being refined. Among them, the most effective were the level 2 desolate beasts. Almost every single one of them was almost the same as a complete ancient desolate Dan. Although it consumed energy compared to the rewards, Lin Fei felt that it was still worth it. Hee, another 10 ancient desolate Dan. Lin Fei kept the ancient desolate Dan and rushed to the next location to continue hunting desolate beasts. During the day, Lin Fei hunted desolate beasts. At night, Lin Fei absorbed the ancient desolate Dan and strengthened his body. The effect was very obvious. From level 2 middle stage to level 2 late stage, and then to level 2 perfection. The entire process only took 10 days. This efficiency was considered very fast. There was also the system's help. It was able to suppress the tyranny of the ancient desolate Dan at the first moment. After dispersing the tyranny of the ancient desolate power, it was much easier to absorb it. Other people needed a night to refine one ancient desolate Dan, but Lin Fei could refine tens of ancient desolate Dan in a night. This formed a huge difference. Anyone who saw it would be dumbfounded. Done. Another night passed. Ancient desolate Dan after ancient desolate Dan was consumed. Lin Fei, who was stuck at level 2 perfection, finally successfully advanced to level 3 initial stage with the help of a large amount of ancient desolate Dan. Chapter 2504. P.S. I've been stuck recently, sorry. That bastard Lin Fei left the Academy base. Why can't I take revenge? Capital Academy base, in a certain courtyard. Su was losing his temper. Ever since he had been slapped in the face last time, Su Zheng had always wanted to take revenge. Naturally, he had arranged for people to keep an eye on Lin Fei's every move, but unfortunately he did not have the chance to make a move. When Lin Fei left the Academy base, Su Zheng immediately realized that his chance had come. Su Zheng had a better understanding of the dangers of the ancient desolation world. He had seen the power of the desolate beasts, and it was difficult for ordinary weapons to leave a mark on their bodies. If he were to deal with Lin Fei at this time, it would be perfect. With a slight move, he would know if Lin Fei was killed or if he was killed by a desolate beast. At that time, without a corpse, he would most likely think that he was killed by a desolate beast. Su Zheng's idea was very good, but it was rejected by Su Yingxiong. No, absolutely not. Su Yingxiong's hatred for Lin Fei was also very great. At least not at this time. Everyone is watching us. Once we make a move on that brat Lin Fei, it will be equivalent to giving ourselves away. At that time, our Su family's influence in the Academy base will be greatly affected, and it will also affect the Su family's interests in the ancient desolation world. Su Yingxiong was past that age, and he was always thinking about the family. The ancient desolation world was extremely terrifying, and at the same time it was rich in resources. If one wanted to occupy resources here, they would need to pay more. Su Yingxiong understood. Are we just going to watch that brat continue being arrogant like this? You can watch on, but I can't. Su Zheng said with great dissatisfaction. Now, everyone outside is saying that our Su family is afraid of Lin Fei, and doesn't even dare to take revenge. Su Yingxiong sneered. Without my permission, you cannot take revenge. You are new and do not know that if something happens to you in the Academy base, Vice Principal Zhang Leng will definitely investigate, and at that time, everyone will be finished. However, Lin Fei is too cunning. He beat up a member of our Su family. He will definitely take revenge, but not at this time. When the time comes, I will let you do it yourself, At this time, there must not be any problems. Our Su family's number one has already reached a critical moment. You should understand. Su Zheng suddenly shuddered. Su Zheng naturally knew about the number one person in the Su family. He worshipped him, and the entire family believed that he could become the future hope of the Su family. The Su family's influence in the academy base was mostly due to the Su family's number one person. Su Zheng knew very well that if something really happened at this time, he would definitely be finished. A single word from the Su family's number one could make the family reduce the allocation of resources to him. Especially at this time, losing support would be a huge blow to Su Zheng. Are you about to break through? Su Zheng asked cautiously. Soon, Long Hung can rely on his level 8 physique to run amok. Once our Su clan's number one person advances, he will be on the same level as Long Hung, or even above him. Su Yingxiong said in admiration. Naturally, Lin Fei did not know that there were people who wanted to make a move against him in secret, fearing the deterrence of the academy. Pum! A huge creature fell to the ground. A level 3 dire beast, Diamond Bear. It really isn't easy to deal with. Its defense is insane. If I were to fight it one-on-one, I might really be at a disadvantage. Lin Fei grabbed the intermediate energy gun and looked at the dire beast with satisfaction. Ever since his physique had reached level 3, Lin Fei could at least ignore the gravity in the academy base. With just his physique, it wouldn't be a problem to deal with level 1 and level 2 dire beasts. However, against a level 3 dire beast, it was still too weak. A level 3 dire beast's physique was extremely strong, and it could be said that it was invulnerable. Fortunately, Lin Fei had the intermediate energy gun, which allowed him to break through the opponent's defense and kill the level 3 dire beast. This wasn't the first level 3 dire beast. There aren't many level 3 dire beasts in this area of the academy. It's clearly not enough to strengthen my physique. Lin Fei's current physique was already at the mid-stage of level 3. Only he knew how many ancient, desolate pills he had consumed during this period. Cultivating the physique realm was truly a bottomless pit. Without the support of a powerful clan, it would be extremely difficult to cultivate the physique to level 7 or level 8. Lin Fei could imagine that Long Hung from the Long clan relied on his physique's defense to ignore Nangong Jinma. The amount of resources he used was truly a bottomless pit. I have to change locations. My core stomp can be put to good use. In this area of the academy, Lin Fei was extremely careful. He didn't dare to release the core puppet warriors. The efficiency wasn't very high if he were to deal with them alone. In Lin Fei's opinion, this was only temporary. Lin Fei stored the corpse and opened the map. He realized that he wasn't far from the boundary. Once this thought appeared, it couldn't be stopped. He decided to leave the academy area and reap some benefits first. Hua hua hua. The moment Lin Fei left the academy area, the most obvious thing was the pressure from the heavens and earth. Under the pressure of the heavens and earth, his mid-stage level 3 physique was barely able to withstand it. No wonder I can only come out with a level 3 physique. Even if I have a level 3 physique, it's still extremely strenuous. At least 60 to 70% of my strength will be suppressed. Unless I form a team, I'll definitely be finished. Standing in the forest, Lin Fei experienced the pressure from the heavens and earth. He had to admit that the ancient desolation world was truly a mystical world. Check which direction there are more desolate beasts active. Lin Fei opened the system. Soon he got the answer. In the east direction, Lin Fei sneaked over and activated the aura concealment effect at the same time. He also began to consume energy to remove all the heavens and earth's gravity. It felt extremely uncomfortable, but he didn't want to tire himself out. Once he was 1,000,000 miles away from the academy, Lin Fei slowed down. Along the way, he had really broadened his horizons. Compared to the dire beasts in the academy area, The dire beasts here were the real dire beasts. If not for the system's reminder and the special creatures opening the way, not to mention 1,000,000 miles away, even 100,000 miles would cause one to face the attacks of countless dire beasts. This was something that Lin Fei had personally experienced. Terrifying. This was the greatest feeling he had. The ancient desolation world was basically filled with mountain ranges. One mountain range was connected to another, and there were truly tens of thousands of huge mountains. Dire beasts ran amok in them, and there were even a few times where powerful dire beasts were entrenched. The immense pressure was like a bomb that could launch a destructive attack at any time. This time, Lin Fei was relieved. He probably wouldn't meet anyone more than 1,000,000 miles away. "My army, you can come out now." After choosing a suitable place, Lin Fei released the warriors from the system space. These were all recreated on the Emperor's Peak. They weren't very strong, but that wasn't important. What was important was that they were all dressed in heavy armor. First of all, the aircraft beneath their feet could give them the fastest speed. Next was the special armor on their bodies. This was no ordinary armor. It was armor that could resist the influence of the outside world. It was just that in the ancient desolation world, its effects were much smaller. This was something that Lin Fei didn't know. The most dazzling thing was the weapons in their hands. They were all energy guns. Chapter 2505. Bang, bang, bang. In the forest of a mountain range in the ancient desolation world, hundreds of desolate beasts were launching attacks at a group of people not far away, again and again. They did not make any move to stop. All of them were rank 3 desolate beasts. Any one of them alone would be troublesome. But now they were being suppressed by 200 people. Beams of light shot out, leaving horrifying wounds on the desolate beasts' bodies. One by one, the desolate beasts fell to the ground, unable to get up. In less than the time it took for an incense stick to burn, more than 500 rank 3 desolate beasts had all fallen to the ground, leaving a mess on the scene. Awesome. Lin Fei came out of the forest, kept the corpses, and produced ancient desolation pills. Ever since he had the help of 200 subordinates, they were basically mopping up the area, constantly reaping the lives of the desolate beasts. This also allowed Lin Fei to obtain a large number of ancient desolation pills. In a short 6 days, Lin Fei's middle stage, rank 3 physique, was pushed to the early stage, rank 4 physique, and the number of desolate beasts that died under his guns was uncountable. Lin Fei was still not satisfied with this speed of improvement. Even though he had obtained a large number of black crystal energy cards, the 200 subordinates, whether it was defense, flying, or the intermediate energy guns, all of the energy consumption came from Lin Fei. This way, the consumption was huge. Lin Fei was clear about the dangers of the ancient desolation world. Energy units had to be used sparingly. 200 subordinates were more or less enough. At the very least, surrounding and attacking 1,000 desolate beasts would not be a problem at all, and it would not be strenuous at all. According to Lin Fei's plan, his physique would have to be raised to the 5th stage. This trip was limited. If it was too long, it would inevitably cause people to worry. Lin Fei was prepared to stay for another 3 days before returning. Another 3 days passed. Lin Fei's 200 subordinates had lost more than 50 men. It turned out that they had been attacked by a few level 5 dire beasts not long ago. If not for their intermediate energy guns, they might have been completely annihilated. As it turned out, the desolate beasts they were hunting were the food of the rank 5 desolate beasts. Lin Fei happened to bump into them and was attacked by the rank 5 desolate beasts. Compared to these rank 5 desolate beasts, Lin Fei's subordinates were much weaker in defense. Once they arrived in front of them, they were tormented in a few moves. Finally, they managed to kill the rank 5 desolate beast. Losing 40 to 50 people, Lin Fei did not feel the slightest heartache. The only thing that made Lin Fei's heart ache was the loss of the intermediate energy gun. He needed to bring it back for the system to repair, which would consume a large amount of energy. The corpses of the rank 5 desolate beasts allowed Lin Fei to obtain quite a number of ancient desolate pills. The effects were much stronger. Compared to the ancient desolate pills produced by rank 4 desolate beasts, there was a clear difference in power. This also made Lin Fei realize that the improvement of his physical body was not something that could be achieved by consuming a large amount of ancient desolate pills. At the very least, the ancient desolate pills produced by rank 5 desolate beasts would have a huge increase in effect. As for those rank 1 to rank 3 desolate beasts, the effects were negligible. If he did not accumulate a large amount of them, he would not be able to feel the effects. If it was so easy to raise one's physical body realm, everyone would be able to raise their physical body realm. After consuming the ancient desolate pills produced by rank 5 desolate beasts, Lin Fei managed to raise his physical body to the great circle of rank 4. He was still a step away from rank 5. Lin Fei decided to return. The great circle of rank 4 physical body was barely passable. At the very least, he managed to achieve it in less than half a month. This kind of speed was indeed frightening. With a physical body of this realm, Lin Fei had the ability to protect himself. Those people who wanted to rely on his inferior physical body to launch a sneak attack would probably be dumbfounded. Returning to the Academy's base, Lin Fei conveniently hunted a group of rank 1 to rank 3 desolate beasts. No matter what, he had to complete the mission. Although he did not fancy those ancient desolate pills, it was still a mouthful of meat. It could increase his strength a little. Isn't that Lin Fei? He actually returned. Looks like the harvest is not bad. The moment Lin Fei returned to the Academy's base, he was immediately discovered by everyone. Before this, many people thought that Lin Fei would return riddled with wounds. Even if it was the outer perimeter of the Academy, it was not a place where a newcomer could make a name for himself. The fact that Lin Fei returned safe and sound was no less than a slap to their faces. After handing over a large number of desolate beast corpses in the bounty hall and receiving the bounty reward, Lin Fei ignored the gazes of those people and returned to his courtyard. Lin Fei had a good night's rest. In the ancient desolation Great World's forest, Lin Fei could not sleep well. Who knew when a desolate beast would attack him? Early the next morning, Lin Fei slept for a night and felt refreshed. He opened the system and looked at the Academy's news. In the Academy, Lin Fei released special creatures to gather information. In the days that he was away, the Academy seemed to be very peaceful. Nothing much happened, but not long ago, a few people broke through to the 3rd step. For example, Nangong Yuming, Long Batian, Mo Xiaojian, and the other geniuses. This kind of speed was indeed very fast. Breaking through to the 1st and 2nd step was not difficult, so Lin Fei was not surprised at all. They all had families behind them, so providing them with ancient desolate pills was not a problem. However, it was very difficult to break through from the 3rd step to the 4th step, and the amount of ancient desolate pills needed was definitely terrifying. Lin Fei roughly calculated. To break through to the 4th step, he would need at least tens of thousands of ancient desolate pills. Don't look at tens of thousands of ancient desolate pills. It was not that easy to get. At the very least, Lin Fei had been busy for a very long time. Furthermore, he had 200 subordinates to help him, and he even used a mid-grade energy gun. However, he was unbearably tired, and he had used up more than 100 black crystal power cards. To break through from the 4th step to the 5th step, Lin Fei also calculated that he would need about 200,000 ancient desolate pills. This was also not a small number. Lin Fei continued to read the news. The news that followed was not very meaningful. It was all kinds of gossip, and there was nothing interesting about it. After returning to the Academy's base, Lin Fei simply rested for a few days. Then he went to the Academy's library and successfully found a book that he wanted to know. In the ancient desolation world, The cultivation of the fleshly body was extremely important. As a result, there were all kinds of fleshly body cultivation techniques that could better unleash the power of the fleshly body. Lin Fei currently had a perfect fourth step fleshly body. Every part of his body had been strengthened by the ancient desolation power. His body had also accumulated a large amount of power. Using ordinary methods to release it was also very terrifying. However, this method was very crude. Lin Fei planned to learn a fleshly body cultivation technique that could better utilize the power of the fleshly body. Hey, your fleshly body is not even at the third step, and you're here to choose a cultivation technique. The ordinary cultivation techniques in the library could be obtained for free. If one wanted to cultivate it, they would need a third step fleshly body. This was the foundation. Just as Lin Fei flipped through it, he heard a strange voice. Raising his head, he saw Su Zheng's beaming face.